So Carviou.
Careview?
Yes. Don't ask me where it's from.
Okay. EY?
Yes. Just like the dog. Or Bob Marley, whatever you choose.
Marley. Casey, are we hot? We are hot. We are live once again here at Coe College.
Welcome back.
Cedar Rapids. I feel like we were just here because we were just here on Monday, and we are back for day 2 of the Lift-A-Thon, the Kohawk Power Lift-A-Thon. Even though I know that's what it's called, I keep looking at the shirt for a cheater. Free shirt, by the way, so I appreciate it. I went to bed last night, Marley, and I thought to myself, you know what I want to do tomorrow? I want to wake up at 3 a.m., drive to Cedar Rapids, and watch a bunch of meatheads throw a bunch of weight around, and here we are.
Here we are. This is where the fun's at.
If you don't know who Marley is the assistant strength and conditioning coach here at Coe College. What are we looking at this morning in the background? What's about to happen here?
This is what we do bright and early every single day. Right behind us, we have our football team warming up. We have 2 groups today, so 5:30 and 7:30. Obviously a very big team, so we have to split them up, but they're getting ready to squat, so we should see some really fun numbers today.
So we are at a lifting competition here at Coe College. This whole thing is to raise money.
Yep.
That goes directly into this room and this program. These athletes, they need plenty of tools in the toolbox.
Exactly.
And any good program, whether it goes from baseball to golf to bowling to football to softball to volleyball, basketball, anything in between, they need to have good equipment to work out on. And
it's not cheap.
It's not cheap, and sometimes budgets are tight.
Exactly.
So, Coach Vass and yourself, you guys have put this thing together, and
I'm going to take a little credit. Coach Vass has done all of the hard work.
All right,
he deserves most of the credit.
He's in the background there, and I guarantee he knows we're talking about him right now. So, 99% of the work we're going to give him credit for.
I'll give it to him this
We're going to give you a 1% piece of the pie for contributing to this thing. But the moral of the story is this. Coe College is raising money for their weight room, and so we're here to help promote and spread the word and help promote the Lift-A-Thon.
Yeah.
So essentially what we're going to see today is these athletes competing against one another, you know. So football competes against each other. Baseball's already happened. Yep. What sports have already done a lift and competed against each other?
We haven't had that many go. We had our baseball team, women's soccer, and our volleyball team, and track and field. Those are the ones that are done. We have a lot today, a lot tomorrow. I'll have swim and dive here shortly at 6:30.
Oh, so the swim team will be in here too.
In between our football groups today, and then tomorrow we'll have softball, men's and women's golf. And I don't remember who we're wrapping up on Friday. I'd have to look.
Man.
So it's going to be busy, but it's going to be fun. Yeah.
I'll tell you, this early in the morning, because what time is it right now? About 5:50, something like that?
Yeah, 52.
You guys, when we walked in at 5:30, you guys were already hammering. Everybody's warming up, making all kinds of grunts and yells and bangs and slams and going on in here.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a squatting competition among the football players.
Football today is squatting, yep.
How does it work? Because I'm seeing some guys that there's no way they're going to out-squat other guys in here. So is it by weight, by position?
We're giving them the parameter of 90%.
Here, get this nice and close to you here, Marla.
90% of their max is what we're doing today.
Okay.
Yep. So in a way they are competing, but they're going for reps. So they're trying to use that number that we've calculated for them to get anywhere between 1 and 5 reps. So if they're knocking out 5, that's going to be pretty impressive.
So, you're going to see guys probably put 315 on the bar because
I would say that's going to be kind of our median somewhere in the middle. Some of our higher numbers will be above 400 though, so we're going to feature those guys, get some good video footage so you can see that. If you can't see it right here, you can see it live later on our Instagram, Facebook, all our social media. So
if the most you can squat is, let's say, 430 pounds for one clean rep, you're probably going to have 285, 290 on the bar, right?
Maybe
300.
Yeah. Yep. Give me closer.
Or no. If it's 4 or something, it's probably going to be closer to high 3s, right? and then you're going to go for reps to see how many you can do.
Yep, and we're just capping them at 5 to keep everyone safe.
5 reps.
Yeah, we don't need anyone doing anything to their legs, hips, back. So
yeah, we don't need a blowout here. Yeah.
We don't want any injuries on camera today.
Yeah.
So.
Well, not only that, but that kind of puts a damper on the upcoming season too. Which, by the way, when does football season start?
They just released their schedule, and typically they report for camp in August, first game in September, so we've got some time. A lot of guys usually stick around for the summer, so they're going to be the team that's in here probably the most with Coach Vass over the summertime. Most kids that go home will still be doing their lifts on their own, but we keep them moving year-round, so...
So everybody in here is a football player or affiliated with the team somehow, right?
Yep. You'll see some of our interns walking around, and then we have a small group of baseball, but they're just getting their lift in today. They're not competing today since they're already done.
Got it.
So anyone in gray is going to be baseball.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
We're color coordinated.
Yes, we are. We're very organized for you today. Easy to follow.
So I'm seeing some people in here, are there just some people in here just doing a general workout this morning?
Yep, so that's what baseball's doing. Yep, they're just getting through their lift card, feeling good after their games yesterday.
Boy, they picked a heck of a time to hit a morning workout here with the squat-a-thon happening now.
No kidding. It's a little intimidating.
So are we off and running here?
I'm not sure how close we are. We'd have to find Vass. When you see cameras, we'll have our interns out with videos. They're getting videos, so if you see people with cameras...
Casey, will you take the camera out there while Marley and I are kind of talking?
It looks like we're still warming up, so I think we've got a little time, so we don't have to rush.
Yeah, no, I think this is great here. For everybody that's watching right now, Marley, remind me, where the heck are you from again? What's your hometown?
I'm from Wisconsin, northeastern Wisconsin, a small town called Marinette. So I had to travel
way up high.
Yeah. Right on the border of Upper Michigan, basically.
Wow.
Near Green Bay. Yeah.
Are
you familiar with the area at all?
Not way up there. I mean, I know Green Bay is a long ways away. That's what I know.
So Green Bay from here is probably about a 5-hour drive, maybe a little less, and then my hometown's just about another hour north.
Wow.
Yep.
So at what point in your life did you first hear about a Coe College?
Back in high school. I honestly don't really remember. I'm pretty sure just an email. But I reached out to the coaching staff when I kind of looked into it more. This was the first school I visited.
For softball?
Yes, yep. So I was interested in playing softball, knew I wanted to do that, and when they reached out, I looked into the program, thought it looked pretty good. First visit ever was here, and I loved it, and did a couple more, realized it didn't really match to this, so I just went with it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's far enough away where mom and dad couldn't just surprise me for a day.
Sure.
But close enough where, the drive can be done in a day. It's brutal, but...
What position do you play?
I was an outfielder. So, yep, anywhere on the grass I was happy. I pitched in high school, though, but I went to a very small school, so...
Yeah.
didn't take much.
What was your claim to fame in softball? If you could pick one thing that you did that you would suspect the coaches say, Marley contributed because of this.
I would say consistency. Like, I showed up, I did the work, there was never a question about it. So
were you a good hitter?
I was not a power hitter, but, I would show up, get the job done, do whatever I could to help my team. That's what I did.
What's the name of your high school you went to?
I went to St. Thomas Aquinas Academy, very, very small Catholic school, so it's a bit of a mouthful.
Shout out to St. Thomas, clear up on the Canadian border.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was perfect for me. It was a small school, and then gave me all the tools to get here. And so Coe for me was very big. This was still like a shock factor when I got to college, which is funny because, it's still a small liberal arts school. So when people think, big college, they do not think Coe.
Did anybody come with you?
No, just me. I've met some of my best friends here, though. That is for sure.
How often do you get home?
As often as I can, but right now this is kind of my busy season, being here and with my clients. So summertime is usually I'll do a lot of weekend trips, see my parents, and I have a younger brother and a younger sister. So
will you go home for like Easter, or will you hang here for Easter?
We don't have Easter plans right now. Mom and Dad figure it out, but we'll see. We don't know.
Figure out the Easter plans, Mom and Dad.
I need to know where to pick up my basket. So
Easter's tough too because it's on a Sunday, and with that far away, I mean, Yeah, if you live close,
Yeah.
you bet. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's go
for sure.
put some meat on the grill and do all the things. But
Yeah, and usually, I like my weekends to be as relaxing as possible since I'm here bright and early all the time. So it really depends. Maybe they'll come here. They like to make the trip when it gets warmer. Right now they're on vacation. They tuned in live to watch on Monday while they were on vacation, which was pretty cool. So yeah,
well, good
they were
for
very
them.
excited to see us on Facebook. Yeah.
do you, if you're home on Easter, do you get a basket? Does the
hope
Easter
so.
Bunny give you a basket still?
Traditionally, it's been smaller and smaller every year.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on that age where, it's questionable. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm at the age too. If we go to my mom's for Easter, I still get a basket,
Yep.
but usually it's got like beef jerky and scratch tickets in it.
Maybe a pair of socks if I'm lucky.
Yeah. Do you have to find it, or is it handed to you?
My dad is very good at hiding Easter baskets. He loves to tell a joke, pull a prank. So I'm sure if there is anything, it will be hidden.
Oh yeah, we show up to my mom's house, and us kids and grandkids, they have to find their basket that the Easter Bunny
It
hid.
makes it exciting. It makes it more fun. So why not?
Yeah. Do you remember any spots where your basket was hidden at some point in
yes.
your childhood where it drove you crazy until you found it?
There have been a couple outdoors, and I grew up on a dairy
Oh,
farm.
outdoors
So,
too?
yeah, a lot of times garage, the barn, there was a lot of spots, and then and the basement was one.
All right, Casey, go follow the action. We got all kinds of yelling and screaming going on over there in the deep far rack. We must be going for some sort of... this is just like what you see on all the other reels online where everybody's hollering and screaming and...
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get noisy today, that is for sure.
Yeah, I'm wondering what our audio is going to sound like on the live feed, but dude down there seemed to do something good.
We're warming up. They'll get closer too. I know some of our bigger guys should be right in the middle here, so we should be able to see some action not too far from
Oh yeah, we're right there. We're going deep. We're going cheeks to ankles down there. That's the only way to do it.
It's required.
One of the terms that I used to hear a lot from the old school guys in the gym was, get down into the bucket, get in the bucket. Meaning get your butt all the way down. Okay, boy, dude is hopped up.
Yeah.
Dude is hopped up over there, ready to go. That's deep.
There it is.
That's good form. That is good form.
Yep, so they're capped at 5. We'll see how many they can knock out.
Man. Get it.
That's a good rep.
That counts.
Yeah, that looked good.
Rack them and stack them. So is this is still a warm up right now? You think, or that can't be?
I have a feeling that those last few sets we just saw were probably at 90% or pretty close.
Dude, look at big boy over here. What do we got on there? 405, 450, 425, maybe? Are there 445s on each side there?
I'll need a calculator if we're gonna do.
If there's 445s, then that's 405, and then I think he's got a 10 on each side. So I think that's probably...
Is that 2 10s? I can't see from this angle.
Maybe it's 210.
We'll confirm with Bass. We'll get some numbers.
That was well over
They're
400.
going right down the line here.
Well, now this guy here, he's got 225 plus... Are those big plates are a 10 as well?
Yes.
That little thin one on the end there.
Yep. And then a 5 and a 2.5 there as well.
But dude, some of these taller guys, squatting is not easy if you're a tall guy. You got to you got to travel a long way.
All right, coming right over to us. Here we go.
Oh, now we get some.
Oh, that's a bad rack for you. Can't really see.
Well, I can't see it, but Casey can see it, right? Casey, you got a good shot of. Let's see what this guy's got on here. Let's see.
Coach Bass is there if they need him. He's ready to help out.
I'm thinking that's right around 335 pounds right there.
I'm trusting your math.
Yeah, well, you got 315 with the 3 plates plus 2 10s on each side. So yeah, I think these guys are still kind of getting all hopped up here.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to keep coming down the line. It looks like Bass kind of wants them doing that. Stay organized here, so
It's kind of interesting here. I think what we're getting is we're kind of going from the smaller guys to the big guys all the way down here, so they're not switching out. Well, they have time to like add a little bit of weight on there, but
definitely. We're at the point in their off season too where they've been lifting for a while together. They all have their partners that are going to be similar in weights, so they don't have to move too much. They kind of figure that out on their own. We don't have to do too much organization, which is nice.
Boy, I'd hate to be some old crusty professor coming in here for his recumbent bike workout this morning with his newspaper and coffee, wanting to just kind of calmly ease into his day.
No, you're not easing in down here.
No.
This is our morning. This is what it looks like.
You know, if there's one thing better than getting up early and lifting weights, it's getting up early and watch others lift weights.
Hey, you get to hang out.
Yeah, I wish I had an extra latte right now. If anybody's watching this and you're in the area, bring us some lattes over to Coe College to the weight room, where we bleed crimson and win gold. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, I will say the aesthetic in this weight room is pretty nice. I like all the color schemes. I like the great big sports pictures that you guys have up there on the wall.
Yeah, they look great. My old head coach, Coach Walter, he did a lot of this work when he was here. So he I think he planned most of the facility, if I remember correctly.
So do you think that once, like, say this dude here, I gotta imagine once he's done, he's done. He's done, yeah. Right? I believe
they do have some accessory movements they'll do. So some of their smaller things on their lift card, they're still gonna knock out. It just won't be anything that impressive or with that much weight.
Who's that guy? That guy looks like he's 40 years old.
The one right here.
Like a power mustache.
Not Coach Bass.
No, that guy. Like, it's crazy. These kids, I say. But I mean, hey, these guys are all in their pretty much early 20s, right?
This will be kind of our last year where some kids still have their fifth year, their COVID year. So there are a couple in this group, I believe, that will be using that last year of eligibility. Not that makes a huge difference, but it's kind of funny. You take one of these guys that are 21 years old and you put a mustache on them and they look like they're 41. Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like I'm 12 at all times, so to walk in this way is humbling most days, but it's still very fun. You know, they all listen well. All the guys are super respectful, so I don't usually have to look big and scary. Yeah,
by the way, let me ask you about that, Marley.
Yeah.
Like, because you're a girl.
Yes.
You're a girl in here, and you're doing strength and conditioning, and certainly at the top of the list of sports with strength and conditioning is probably football.
Oh, definitely.
Right?
Yeah, I'm with them a lot.
So how does that dynamic work? And was there kind of a period where there was kind of a, hey, I got to earn a little bit of this?
100%, yeah. I have been super fortunate I'm coming from a student athlete perspective. It was a weird dynamic at first, mostly with the softball team, just because I was friends with a lot of them and their teammate first. So I started coaching here when some of those girls were still in school and they were still playing. So that dynamic with the softball team was fun. There was never any problems. As far as some of the male sports, I'm just super lucky. A lot of these guys are just super respectful, and I didn't have a huge issue with that transition. I have definitely... I can be loud when I need to be, but most of the time, like I said, I don't have to, because they will listen if I just make sure I am getting my point across and they take me seriously. I don't really have to stress about it. I'm very fortunate to be in that position, and that definitely, Coach Vass being supportive of what I do also helps, and our old head coach, Coach Walter, they've both set me up for success. So I've been very lucky to be in that position. Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to the leadership, the program,
100%,
the type of athlete that Coe College, attracts.
Yeah, exactly.
It all plays in,
yes,
right?
I think so.
And by the way, if you're just plugging in this morning, we are at Coe College up here at the Kohawk Lift-A-Thon. This is a fundraising event that Coach Vass has put together. He's over inside doing the squat racks right now, doing all the spotting and the rep counting. But Coe College is raising money so they can put some more dough into their weight room to have better equipment and the latest and greatest stuff. which, by the way, your friends at Treadmill Heroes. This whole segment is powered by Treadmill Heroes. Treadmill Heroes sells brand new, top quality, the best brands of fitness equipment for your facility and for your home. And so we are happy to be up here powering this podcast today at Coe College. And I'm here with assistant strength and conditioning coach Marley from way up northeast Wisconsin, and now she's a Cedar Rapids. Well, you're pretty much a Cedar Rapids native at this point.
I am. I mean, what, 5 years now? 2018. I was in college for 4 of them, and then stuck around. So here we are.
And the money's rolling in a little bit. It's starting to trickle in a little bit now. I think the word's getting out.
Yeah, we hit our goal of 10,000. So we just reached that yesterday, sometime last night. I know Vass texted me that we had just surpassed that, so we are looking to add on to that.
Can we double the goal? I gotta believe that
would be awesome.
If you can do 10, you can do 20. 100%. There's plenty of time left.
Every dollar counts. If you see some guys in here that you know want to be supportive, throw us a couple bucks. Doesn't take much, so we're looking to get that number up as much as we can. But we've already gotten to our goal, so that's awesome. And it's only Wednesday.
You
bet. We have until Friday, so.
And let's face it, in the world of commercial exercise equipment, 10 grand doesn't go that far.
Not really.
No, it doesn't. So and 20 grand doesn't go that far.
Yeah.
But this guy must be going for some sort of record down there. I wish we weren't hardwired in with the camera. Otherwise, Casey'd be down there inside the squat rack.
I think they're coming closer still. We've still got some guys with some weight on the bar here.
Yeah, we got some big boys coming through here.
We'll have to have Vass hop on and do some reporting of the numbers, see what our top ones are.
Yeah, you know what, Marley? Why don't you do this? Go recruit me one of these meat bags from over there and get them over here. I want to talk to them. I want to find out about who they are and what they do.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Marley Careview. Careview. I was so close. Marley Careview, assistant strength conditioning coach here, former softball stud.
Yes.
And now hanging out here at Coe College. Go find me some guy to talk to. Thank you, Marley. So there again, here at Coe College, we're doing a fundraising event, helping these guys raise money for their weight room. And that's what I love about this fundraiser specifically, because it's not, hey, we're raising money for Coe College to go into the general fund, and then we're going to let everybody fight over the funding on where it's going to go. Every dollar raised at this event is going to go directly to this weight room to give these athletes all the right tools they need and make consistent upgrades in the weight room. And it's powered by your friends here at Treadmill Heroes. By the way, Treadmill Heroes sells brand new fitness equipment, both commercially and residentially, and we cover the entire state of Iowa, and we love working with colleges, whether that be universities, whether that be community colleges, high schools, junior highs. In fact, speaking of Cedar Rapids, we just outfitted the brand new 9th grade building at Prairie High School, and with all new wonderful equipment from your friends at Treadmill Heroes. And we're going to continue doing that, and we're going to touch every school in this state because we're locally owned. Treadmill Heroes is Iowa owned. Come on in here, young man. Suit up. What's your first? Oh, come on in. So get that microphone good and close. As a matter of fact, so just unscrew that knob a little bit. There you go. Get that thing raised up and then snug it up real tight.
That good?
Yep, and it's so loud in here. Keep that microphone nice and close. What's your first name?
Henry.
Henry, nice to meet you. I'm Joe.
Nice to meet you, Joe.
I'm Joe from Treadmill Heroes. You're on the football team?
Yeah, play safety. I'm going to be a junior here.
Going to be a junior?
Yep.
Wonderful, Henry. How you liking it so far?
Loving it, man. Coe's the place to be.
Plug your hometown. Where are you from?
Mount Vernon, Iowa, so only about 20 minutes away.
Oh, you're a Mount Vernon Mustang, huh? Wonderful.
Yep.
How in the heck did you land at Coe College?
Coach Staker and Coach Bethke, they came to my school. I knew Coach Staker was a great guy because he recruited my older brother.
Oh, really?
He didn't come here, but I knew they were a great family. I knew Coe has a big family tradition, and I'm a part of a big family, so I wanted to join this.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So how old are you, Henry? How long you been here now?
I'm 20 years old, been here 2 years.
2 years.
Yep.
Give me some highlights from your football career at Mount Vernon. Who do you want to give a shout out to? Maybe old players or coaches or anything like that. Let's razz a few people here.
All right. Right, Coach Lance Peterson.
I just talked to Lance Peterson yesterday. He's actually going to be coming on the podcast as soon as school gets out.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude. Awesome dude.
Man, that's great. Yeah, well, Coach Peterson, like I said, just talked to you. I'm sure he's watching. He's a fan of the podcast.
That's awesome. He's an awesome dude, one of my favorite people.
Wonderful. Okay, well, tell me more.
You got Joey Romberg, great quarterback. He's actually at UD, so we're rivals now. But, Evan Brazzi, Caden Stimmel, Clark Youngren, guys like that I graduated with. Some of them I graduated with. They're just great dudes that I don't get to see as much, but they're awesome people. I also shout out Preston Peterson, strength coach at Mount Vernon. He's a great dude.
What's up, Preston?
Yeah, you should get him on the podcast. He knows what he's doing.
I've never met Preston. Is relationship to Lance?
No relation.
Completely different.
Completely different, but he's strength coach at Mount Vernon.
Okay.
He's got a great program there, knows what he's doing. Then you got Ben Kanake. He went to Cornell, but he was a coach, quarterback coach, offensive coordinator. Then Brad Meester, of course, who's now the new head coach at Mount Vernon.
How'd you squat this morning?
I didn't squat. I actually got a back injury, so I benched, but it went pretty well. So,
good,
yeah.
Good. You're happy with it?
Yeah, I'm happy with the numbers.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Henry, what else are you going to do here at Coe? Football doesn't last forever.
Nope.
What are you going to do?
So right now I'm studying business and managerial accounting. But I actually got an internship that Coach Fast kind of hooked me up with at Schimberg Company, which is one of our sponsors.
Oh, wonderful.
So I started that internship this spring.
What do they do there?
So they sell pipes, valves, and fittings.
Okay.
They're actually a major retailer of this. It's kind of a smaller industry. No, not a small industry, but an industry you don't really think of. But it really makes the world go round. I mean, every building needs pipes, right? Every building needs valves and fittings, and they deliver that. So I do that. I strip pipe. I make sure we got our inventory. And we send it out to people that want it, like Cargill, ADM, stuff like that.
What kind of business does Henry want to get into someday? You want to work in a business, or do you want to run a business?
I guess we'll see where that road takes me. I think it'd be awesome to run a business, but I think you got to do the muddy work here early, learn the ropes, learn what you want to do, learn what you like. So I'm trying to figure all that out right now, and hopefully we'll see what the future holds. What
are you into, though? What is, your passion? If you could say, man, if I could make money doing this, what is it?
That's a hell of a question.
Are you into, any sort of, do you collect anything? Are you, what are you following online? What type of things do you find interest in where you're like, man, maybe I could do something like that?
Well, I'm a major sports guy, of course, but I've always liked construction, getting my hands dirty. So I could even go to landscaping, because that's what I did in high school. I had my own little landscaping business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with a few neighbors. I helped them out, helped my grandma out, of course. But so I could definitely go into a landscaping kind of operation, but it's something I get my hands dirty. I kind of like working. So.
Well, let me give you a little business 101. Keep every single one of these guys' phone numbers and contact info and everything else, because there's no better pool of people that you can network through than the people that you went to college with. I got to tell you, I've got friends from college that we've done projects together, and we're still friends today. Obviously, high school is the same kind of thing. Which, by the way, do you keep in contact with anybody from high school?
Oh yeah. I usually text most of my high school buddies back in the day. We still got a group chat. So we stay in contact.
Do you live on campus here?
Yep, I live on campus in Green Dorm.
How often do you get back to Mount Vernon?
Every couple weeks.
I was talking to Marley about Easter. That's coming up. You'll be back home for that, right?
Yep, Easter weekend's the next time I'll be home. It'll be a nice break from spring ball, and then we get here, finish the last week of spring ball, finish finals up, and go work.
What's your last name, Henry?
Ryan.
Henry Ryan.
Yep.
From Mount Vernon. Safety. Kohawks.
You got it.
That's fantastic. Well, you know what? I'm going to make it to a game this year. I've never been to a Coe College football game. Shame on me.
You got to get here. Which one are you going to?
Which one should I come to? What's the big game? What's the not miss game of the season?
Well, Cornell's on a Thursday night. Thursday night football. We've never done that here before, so that'd be pretty special. We always beat up on Cornell. So
it's fun to beat up on Cornell.
Rival. Well, I think it's the longest rivalry west of Mississippi.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's across all sports.
The Thursday night Cornell game.
Yep, first time ever on a Thursday night.
I think that would be one we could make. We should live stream from that too. We should live stream from the Cornell Coe football Thursday night game. That would be actually a pretty darn good time.
Yeah.
Who do you think we should pick on next, Henry? Who's out here that might be good on the mic? I don't think they're going to be as good as you, but
I don't know about that. I think Luke Schumacher, he's going to be a senior O lineman. He's a great dude for us.
Where's he at? Is he in here?
Hey, coach. Schumacher. Schumacher's got it. Schumacher's the man.
Let's get him over here. Well, Henry, so you've got class now.
Yeah, I actually got theater and accounting too. So.
Do you enjoy theater?
It's a good general education course. It's pretty easy. So.
Yeah, I like theater in the sense that it will put most people out of their comfort zone, in the sense of feeling vulnerable, kind of embarrassed. You're playing roles that you wouldn't normally play. And you living in the football ecosystem, that's tough, right? Because, we're all in here beating our chest and doing all the things. But theater is, you've got to be vulnerable to be good at it. And I think just generally in life, it's good to get used to that uncomfortable heat sometimes.
Well, my final is a 10-minute play. So we got to memorize the script, act it out in front of the whole class. So 10-minute play.
That's great.
Yeah.
Are you going to cry?
No, it's actually it's a funny play. It's comedy.
Well, that's kind of fun then too.
Yeah, it's a little R-rated, I think. So it'll be good.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we got Henry Ryan, Mount Vernon Mustang, now a Coe College Kohawk.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yep. So go Coe. Beat up on Cornell.
Yes,
unless Cornell wants to buy some exercise equipment, don't beat up on them too bad. We want to take care of those guys too. So who do we got coming in here?
Luke Schumacher, senior O lineman.
Luke Schumacher, come on in and take the headphones from Henry here.
Hey, it was nice meeting you.
Thanks, Henry. Pleasure. Thank you. Luke Schumacher, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I've heard all about you.
Yeah. What have you heard?
O-lineman?
Yep. O-line.
All right, now keep that microphone good and close because it's a noisy atmosphere in here.
Yeah,
so
we keep it loud. Keeping it loud, keeping it energetic. That's what we're trying to do.
Did you squat this morning?
No, I just benched.
You benched.
Yeah.
More injuries.
Yeah, more injuries.
What are you fighting? What's ailing you, Luke?
Back, elbow, all the good stuff that us seniors deal with.
You better start eating some creatine gummies before the season hits here.
Yep, we'll be good.
Yeah. I mean, no sense in doing a bunch of damage, at this thing. Although this event is a great event.
Yeah.
Right
it's been
here.
a lot of fun.
And it's pretty much been a brainchild of Coach Vass, right?
100%. All him.
These colleges, and I can attest to this because we sell exercise equipment. Like, this is what we do. And there's a lot of colleges that just don't have the funding to make the necessary improvements, and then you end up working out on stuff that is just kind of old and needs to be updated. You guys, those new custom dumbbells, you got those from your friends over here at Treadmill Heroes?
Really? Because those are nice.
Yep. Those came in, and custom dumbbells are always kind of nerve-wracking because you order it, you submit the logo, you submit the color plate, and then you just wait. And then you got a whole set of dumbbells that show up. And, man, I was so worried, there might be some bleeding or the color wasn't quite right. And because then what do you do?
Yeah.
Right? You guys don't want them, and neither do I.
Right, yeah.
So, but they turned out great.
They
and
did.
I was really happy with those. And hopefully that's the first of many improvements that you guys get to make here in this weight room. Where is your hometown?
I'm from Waukee, Iowa, so it's over by Des Moines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how in the heck did you, because you had to jump over about 10 colleges to get to Coe, so how did you end up here?
So my dad's originally from Cedar Rapids, and just Coe came up on my radar, and they really wanted me and just kept keeping persistent with talking to me, and I just felt really wanted here, and so I chose to come here.
And you're a senior.
Oh, yeah, I'm a junior, going to be a senior this fall.
So this is it for you.
Yeah, this is my last run.
One last go around the sun.
Yep, exactly.
And then what?
I'm doing accounting, business, and econ right now, so probably something in the money world.
Yeah, you're doing the general business stuff to kind of get you ready to roll.
Exactly.
Do you feel like the business type education that you're getting here is applicable to what you're going to go do out
Absolutely.
in the real world. Like our colleges now, or Coe specifically, I guess you can't speak about all colleges, but is Coe like applying real life stuff to say, hey, this is like really what's going on economically and business wise in the world?
Yeah,
like, can you give me a little insight into that?
Our professors are really great at that. So, like, one of my classes, we actually went out into the real world and, like, for a nonprofit local business, we just did a project for them. And, like, we kind of handled their finances for a couple months and, like, improved on their balance sheets and all that kind of stuff. So that was really applicable to the real world and just really cool to help out one of those small businesses in Cedar Rapids.
Well, yeah, and that's also kudos to the business for opening up their books to you guys to say, hey, go ahead. Tell me where my opportunities for improvement are.
Yeah, which is really cool because, I mean, that's kind of scary. You're opening yourself up to a lot there, and, like, these small businesses that don't really know what they're doing, I mean, there could be stuff that is borderline on the good or bad side of the law, and you got to be able to trust us to kind of come in and fix it. And
sure.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to those businesses is right, because it can be scary, and there are businesses that don't want to do that, but it was awesome for the ones that did.
Do you have some ideas rolling around in your head as far as what type of business you'd like to get into? Like, do you see yourself going and being like a player in a already established business, or do you see yourself starting something yourself on your own?
I definitely see myself, like, going into a big corporate business and kind of working up the corporate ladder as I just kind of that structure and guide. And
are you kind of like a task guy? If somebody, you'd much rather have somebody say, hey, here's a problem, come up with a solution.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Give me a problem, I'll solve it, and, like, give me goals and metrics to reach to get better promotions and stuff like that.
The world needs more Luke Schumachers. The business world needs more of you guys. Yeah, some taskmasters that can just, hey, give me something to do and I'll knock it out. Let's plug your old high school. Let's plug some coaches, some old players. Yeah. If you could, just off the top of your head, go back to when you played at Waukee.
So I actually played at Waukee Northwest. My senior year was the first year Waukee Northwest opened, so we, like, started everything. Whole new school my senior year.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was crazy. So, like, the coaches all came over to Northwest for sports, mostly. Most of them did. And, like, all new equipment. So, like, we had a really, really nice weight room, really nice football field, nice locker room. Like, we got the whole shebang.
Yeah, because you were starting fresh. And I'm sure there was $1 bazillion in the budget. I mean, to do a project. Hey, let's start a new school. You got to have a lot of dough to do that.
Yeah, so that was awesome, and just the facilities we got were next level. I mean, it was like a D1 facility. It was awesome.
Yeah, you know what? I think I've heard of that setup, and it's a good one.
Yeah.
Did any of your pals come with you?
Yeah. So a lot of the guys that played at Waukee came over to Northwest with the coaches. Pretty much the whole coaching staff came to Northwest.
Wow. It was like a mass exodus.
Yeah, it really was. It really was.
I'm sure that was fun. So did you guys, so then it wasn't a case where it was a new school from the standpoint of a new program, even though it was a new program, you brought in a lot of big key players. So I'm assuming your senior year you didn't get demolished.
No, yeah. So we brought in a lot of key players and kind of kept the relationships with our coaches coming over, so that helped. We didn't have to, like, really learn a new playbook or anything like that. So, yeah, we had a successful year, made the playoffs.
Good. And did anybody from your high school come to Coe with you?
We had a kid last year, 2 years ago maybe, come to Coe, but he ended up washing out. Yeah. No kidding.
Okay, well, that's kind of a bummer, but hey, that happens.
Yeah, we're still looking for some more guys.
Who do you think, what high school do you think Coe has a pretty good relationship with, where you just see more guys coming, or athletes in general coming from that area? Is there a hotbed?
So it's less of a high school, but we get a bunch of kids from, like, Texas and Arizona.
Really?
Which is really shocking, yeah.
Why do you suppose that is?
I don't know. I mean, D3 is definitely more of a Midwest thing, so us going out to Texas to go to showcases where we can talk to these kids that really don't have as many lower level options, and kind of are thinking either D1 or bust, and then Coe shows up at the door, gives these kids the ability to play meaningful football and not ride the bench for 4 years, and it's attractive.
Are you guys going to beat Cornell this year?
Heck yeah, we are.
How many? So this will be your 4th season here?
Yep.
Have you guys beat Cornell ever since you've been here?
Yeah, it's been like 20-some years now in a row.
Oh, so if Cornell were to beat you guys, that would be a big deal in Cornell. There'd be a parade.
That would be a pretty big deal, yeah.
It'd be a ticker tape parade, as they say.
We're going to try and make sure that doesn't happen.
What's on the agenda for the rest of the day today, Luke?
Well, I've got a busy day. I got some classes. Got 2 classes in the morning. Then we got film, afternoon class, and then practice, and then a night class.
Are you guys padded up right now, or just helmets? You're just going through the motions?
So today we're actually going to be first day we're in shells, which is shoulder pads and helmets. But mostly we've been doing just helmets.
So today you'll get a few pops in.
Yep. Get the real feel.
Yeah, that's great. Good deal. Well, we got to get Coach Vass in here. Are we done? I feel like the thing is done. The bars are empty. How do you think this event as a whole is going?
It was so cool. Like, it's been so awesome to see all the other groups and what they're doing, like on social media stuff, like seeing what volleyball and track is doing is just really cool to see. And then you got us this morning in here, just seeing all the different athletes that you don't really think about when we're just in here by ourselves. And then now you see everyone is really doing this, and it's just really cool to see.
Yeah, and it's hard to fundraise.
Yeah.
And you got to do some things that are a little bit different. And when Coach Vass reached out, and he's like, "Hey, we're doing this thing. Would you want to somehow be a part of it?" I'm like, "Well, why don't we just podcast from there?"
Yeah.
And the Monday's videos, the Monday podcast has done really well as far as viewership goes.
That's awesome.
And the amount of shares. So if you're watching this, real quick, hit that share button, because the more we can get the word out, because let's face it, there's a lot of people that have come through Coe that have gone on to do really good things. Yeah. And they're doing well for themselves. They're making good money. They're succeeding in life. And you know what? Maybe $1,000 isn't going to put them in so much of a pinch. They can make a donation, or maybe $10 is where your threshold is. But every $10 counts.
Yeah.
You know, that's a bar collar right there. You know, so whether it's a bar collar or a jump rope that you're able to contribute, or if it's all new bumper plates or more racks or whatever it is, it all goes right here to this room. Yeah. So that's fantastic. Well, Luke, I wish you the best in business. I wish you the best in your senior year here at Coe.
Thank you.
Offensive lineman, specifically, where are you at?
Right now I'm at left tackle, but I've played all over in my career here. I started at left guard as a freshman, and then I played right tackle my sophomore year, played left tackle my junior year, and we'll see where I end up this year. Hopefully not center. Yeah,
and you're a big guy, too. I bet with a pair of pads on, I wouldn't want you hitting me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, good. Well, I'm sure you'll do a great job protecting all the guys running and throwing the ball. And
that's the plan.
Thank you, Luke. Yeah. I appreciate it. If you can, track down Coach Vass, have him come over here and put him in the hot seat. See you, Luke Schumacher, everybody. So there again, we are up here at Coe College in Cedar Rapids. We're at a fundraiser event. We're at the Kohawk Power Lift-A-Thon that Coach Vass, head strength and conditioning coach, has put together to help raise money for the weight room, for Coe. And your friends here at Treadmill Heroes, we're happy to plug in and help out and spread the word. Treadmill Heroes specializes in new commercial fitness equipment for your facility and new commercial or new residential equipment for your home. We also do service, general maintenance, moves, relocations, all the things, parts. Even if you have an existing service guy that maybe be on site at your facility, they still need a resource for parts. We've got that through our sister company, the Fitness Graveyard, and we take trade-ins. That's why we end up with so much used stuff, is because when facilities buy new equipment, we take in the used stuff in on trade, and we either recondition it and put it back out into the wild with warranties, or we're going to strip the thing for parts, and that's going to feed our sister company, the Fitness Graveyard, that way we can help other people who might be on a budget who need good, reliable repair parts to get their stuff back up and going. So it's it's a nice thing. And so when our friends at Coe College asked us to be part of this fundraiser and help them raise a little bit of money for the weight room, we were happy to. I mean, it's really no skin off my nose to come ramble on into a microphone. However, you can't see her, but Casey is behind the camera right now, and 3 o'clock this morning was an early morning to get up. And we've been on the go. It's not like we've had a lot of rest time, so it was wild in here. I hope whoever watched earlier was able to hear us through the banging and the screaming and the hooting and the hollering. But we saw some guys put up some big weight, so I'm interested to talk to Coach Vass to see who actually put up the most weight today, and see if there was any personal bests that were hit. So this has been a fun thing. And there again, this isn't just for the football players. Coach Vass is running every athlete through this Lift-A-Thon, and everybody is competing within the other people in their ecosystem. So you've got people from, he was even telling me bowling does the strength and conditioning program here. Softball, baseball, basketball, certainly football. We've got track coming in later on today, which is pretty exciting. I don't know if we're going to be here all day for that. I guess it just depends on how much coffee they pour for us. And this thing is going to go all week. I wish we could have committed to every day up here, but today's it. So if you're watching this and you went to Coe or you've got ties to Coe College, every dollar counts. On their website, which, Casey, I think is there a flyer sitting around here that I can talk about? There's like there's a QR code that you can scan, and there's also just a website that you can go to make donations to this program. And there again, that's why I love stuff like this, because a lot of times when schools do fundraising, and I know this because I'm a PTA parent back home, but a lot of times what happens when people raise money for the schools, it goes into a general fund. And then the general fund, everybody is fighting over that bone. And where the money actually gets sent off to gets kind of diluted sometimes. And it's like, well, we really need it over here in this department or that department. Every dollar raised from the Kohawk Power Lift-A-Thon up here at Coe College is going directly to the weight room. And I know there's people out there that have ties to this school and this weight room and this program that would love to just make a little contribution to help out, because this is not a big budget operation up here. This isn't one of those big mega schools that have millions and millions of dollars to make upgrades and improvements and trade-ins and trade-outs every year. A lot of this equipment will sit in here and be utilized for years upon years upon years until it gets replaced. So this is a fun thing, and we're happy to be part of it. And by the way, if you are part of another college and you're watching this and you'd like to have Treadmill Heroes come and promote what you guys have going on, just reach out to us, because we love doing this stuff. I got to admit, this kind of charges my batteries. I love promoting other people's things, and certainly Treadmill Heroes, we want to partner with every school out there. Even if you're from Cornell, give us a call. And I know we're at your arch rival's weight room right now, but you know what? We love everybody equally here, and we just want to take part in whatever little bit of success we can contribute to in your schools, whether you're a high school, whether you're a junior high, whether you're a college, community college, 4-year, it doesn't matter. If you've got something going on and it's something to do with your athletes, your weight room, your general student exercise area, which Coe has, and I'm proud to say that they were in a bad spot service-wise up here at Coe. Their equipment was just, they didn't have anybody to help take care of it, and they didn't know about us. And once we got in the fold with Coe College here and got in here and we got our technicians in here to start wrenching on all their equipment, boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, now all their stuff is running, all their stuff is functioning the way it should, and And I take a lot of pride in that because not everybody just buys new equipment from us. Sometimes that takes a while. And a lot of times those relationships are established through service and routine maintenance and parts and just, keeping the stuff that you got running as long as we possibly can until you do have the budget to make the upgrades. And then we'll gladly take your old stuff in on trade-in, give you a few bucks for that, and help you get the new stuff. And then say his name, and he appears.
What's up?
Coach, is that your kid?
That's my kid. My kid's going to be here today.
Are they on a no camera list?
I don't know. I haven't talked to my wife about it.
Your wife should come in here and say hi quick. Actually, Coach, if you'll adjust that knob there and just, loosen that up and then kind of raise that up. With as noisy as it is here, we got to keep these microphones really close.
There we go.
A lot of action going on this morning.
Yep. That was a lot of fun.
I feel like I was yelling even for me, just with everything happening. So give me some highlights of what you saw this morning with the football players in the racks.
So I think the coolest thing is like you said, the energy is just oozing out of you.
Yeah.
And I think what's really cool is a lot of those guys, honestly, the last couple of weeks, I was like, man, I don't know if we're going to get how many guys can rep out the 5. That's kind of my max number that I wanted to go for at their 90s, just safety and just make sure technique's good and things like that. And I think we had all but 3 guys in that group hit 5 reps today at their 90%, that's pretty good.
That's phenomenal.
As a coach, you can be happy with that.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, like and we're talking your 1 rep max, right?
Yep.
And then to take 90% of your 1 rep max. Casey, can we adjust this microphone telescope back in that way so it's not so top heavy here? And then we'll just scoot the thing a little bit closer to Coach. And then we won't have to worry about the thing falling down. And now you can adjust that up and then really snug it down. Now really wrench on that thing and
there we go.
Yeah, there you
now
go.
We're good.
Yeah. Oh, showbiz, right? Nothing ever goes perfectly smooth.
Well, I've sweat through my first shirt of the day, so that's good.
Man, I'll tell you what, I was sweating this morning at 3 a.m. when my phone was going and I was like, no. Like, I love you, man, and I love Coe College, but 3 a.m. in the Quad Cities and then having to drive all the way up here.
So let's get confirmation, same time next year.
So yeah, let's put. Well, if it's a year from now, that's fine. We might be able to have our batteries charged up. How do you think the fundraiser is going so far?
Yeah, great. So as of this morning, and I can pull my link up on my phone. It was at. Let me give me 1 sec. I'll get the exact dollar amount. We eclipsed 10,000 overnight. I know that, but I'll give you the exact dollar. $10,110 so far. And then I do know it's not online yet, but it'll show up later today. We have about $2,100 in checks for sponsors that are going into that dollar amount today. So we should be at a little over $12,000 as of today.
If we and this goes till when?
The online giving site is open all the way until Sunday, but really our last hurrah is going to be Friday. So Friday will be the last time a team is involved with the postings and the promotion of it and stuff like that.
If you can do 12 by now, I have to believe you can easily hit, not easily.
Yeah.
If you grind it out.
Yep.
I think you can hit 20 grand by Friday. Ooh. How fun would it be to double your goal by Friday?
That would be fun. My internal goal in my head was 15. That's my eclipse number. I think we can get close.
I really think you can get close to 20. I think you can, because there's so many people that are tied to this college. And as I was having some of the athletes come through and Marley come through, it doesn't seem like they're involved in this event because they have to be. They seemed really charged up and excited about this thing because this is different. This is something new, right? Yep. You don't have these athletes going door to door selling popsicles to raise money or caramel corn or anything like that. They're in here. They're busting their butts. They're trying to set records. They're competing against one another just to get some exposure to the fact that these schools don't have bazillions of dollars for their weight room, 100%. like some of the big names you see on college football on Saturday afternoons. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
So this is fun, and I'm excited to be part of this thing.
Right.
What? So later today, you've got track coming in, right?
Yeah. So today, right now, you'll see behind us. So behind us in this. Coach Marley's giving her instructions right now, but this is our men's swim and dive team. Okay?
Oh, yeah, we got swimming in here.
Yep, swim and dive, and they're actually. I'm actually going to highlight a little bit here with Joe and what he's done with this program. That if I remember right, I'm not knowing the exact years. Either 2 or 3 years ago, we probably only had less than 5-6 kids on our team, and Joe has done an absolute amazing job of just turning the program around. But I had actually talked to him and about just in general this year the importance of just gaining more. What's the word? Just more like momentum in the weight room with his team specifically. And they've done a fantastic job. They have almost, I think it's 15 or 16 kids that are here right now. We have a couple really good freshman swimmers and people that have been around the program. And so, yeah, today they're actually going to showcase the bench challenge. That's what they're going to do today. So that should be pretty fun as well.
So we're doing traditional flat bench press here.
Yeah, I believe so. Let's take a look. I believe that's what Marley said that they're setting up for. So
who's that big guy walking around?
Yeah, good. We can get him in here for sure. So he interned for me last summer, and during his time here, did really well. He ended up doing an internship for Iowa football in the entire
Is that
fall.
Joe? Who is that guy?
Brandon Hauser, Coach Hauser.
Coach Hauser. Okay.
Hauser, yep. And then we can definitely get him over here. He was actually just at the Arnold this couple weeks ago, so he could probably share some stories with you about what's going on there. And
I've never gone to the Arnold Classic, and I just think that would be fun. Have you ever gone to that?
No, I have not. That's the first time. So
I've never gone to a big bodybuilding show like that, and I think that would be kind of fun to go do.
Yeah, no, for sure. So
anyways,
if you want to grab, I could grab him if you want to, and you could interview him for a little bit. And I think he'd be fun. He's a Mount Mercy undergrad right now. He's going to graduate this next year, and he's right now currently we'll call it a professional internship he's doing with me right now. So he actually works directly with our men's soccer team and our men's and women's track and field teams.
And who do we got here?
Oh, this is my son.
What's your son's name?
This is Jackson here.
Jackson Vass.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, can you say hi into the microphone as loud as you can?
Bo.
Burp.
Speak into it.
Burp. Yeah, I don't blame you.
He's still waking up this morning, so
yeah.
He's coming to hang out with Dad for a couple hours this morning before we drop him off at daycare. So, and I say he picked a good day to come. A lot of excitement. He's excited. Look, he's looking at the superheroes right now.
yeah, the superheroes. We put that on there specifically for trade shows because if the kids are at a trade show, they're naturally attracted to the superhero guy, and the parents will follow and buy some brand new fitness equipment from your friends here at Treadmill Heroes.
That's right.
So anyway, this is great, and I tell you what, there's far worse places for a little boy to grow up inside of, and being in a weight room is a wonderful thing, and he'll love this stuff.
Yeah, no, he does. And my wife, who's standing in the background, I know she doesn't want to come out here, but she as well is super into fitness. We both love to lift. I have a home gym where I also train clientele out of that as well, and so it's a lot of fun.
So you do some in-home personal training too?
Yep. We live in the Marion area. Say bye to Mom. Say bye, Mom. Bye. Oh, say it there. Bye, Mom.
Do you want to plug that biz? Or not? Should we plug that on another one?
I'm okay. We can plug it
Plug
right now.
it. So let's say you're in the Marion area and you're staring at your crusty old dumbbells sitting in the garage and you're like, I just don't know where to even begin. And I can almost make the argument now. There's so much fitness and workout advice on all the social medias. It's so overwhelming. People are like, I don't even know what to believe or where to start. So I think personal training has become even more popular because of all the confusion. Are you seeing that too?
Yeah, no, I would say, I think it was just keep things simple. I think I've actually worked with my wife since we met back in, what year was it, 2016, 2017 when we first met. And I actually trained her. She was training for the Boston Marathon. So that's kind of like, that's kind of where I kind of first fell into. I like the sports performance. Don't get me wrong. That's the exciting part. But I think we talked a little bit about this on the first podcast we did on Monday, was just the general need to be healthy too. And so obviously that entails that as well. So
Wrestling, jumping.
Yeah, they can also do that. So anyways, I think, what, buddy? He gets entertained. He wants me to look at him.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, yep. He's starting to wake up a little more. So
now he's excited.
Once I probably get done talking here, he's going to just run around for the whole time. But Yeah, so a plug again, I have a company called Vasilati Barbell LLC, and I just run it out of my house. We spent a lot when we first moved here. I spent a lot of money. We split our garage into two, and the back side of the garage is basically my home gym.
So you got a whole setup where people can come over
and
two
full-size half racks in there. We got a GHD reverse ham hyper, and we got all the goods in there. I've done really well for. I'm a marketplace / treadmill hero / anybody who's got used equipment for cheap prices.
Yep. Well, yeah, so, and by the way, right?
And to put a plug in there, our dumbbells are from Treadmill Heroes, and I think we have a couple other things I bought from you guys. So.
Sure. Yeah, you're always stopping by the shop, digging around, and that is something that I find fun because we have a lot of consistent customers who are always looking for a good deal for used equipment, and
Absolutely.
since we're always taking that stuff in on trade-ins and whatnot, it's a revolving door, so it's really hard to keep our website updated and marketplace updated. So your best bet is just to come to Wilton, and we'll give you a giant shopping cart, and you can just walk around and fill we'll even put stuff in your cart with our forklift.
I love it.
So who else? Who do you think we should chat with here?
Honestly, I think Coach Hauser would be a really good one. If you guys want me, I'll go grab him.
Go grab Coach Hauser.
We'll do that. Okay, say bye. Say bye. Bye.
Bye. Oh yeah, we got a little bit of a bye there, Coach Vass. Everybody, well, hey, make sure you visit with us before we take off here. There again, we're at the Kohawk Power Lift-A-Thon here in Cedar Rapids at Coe College. They're raising money for the weight room so they can make improvements to this place. They set a modest goal because this is a new thing. And I feel like, come on in, my friend. And I feel like they can double that goal. Casey, will you help kind of make an adjustment here on the mic here? Who do we got here?
My name is Coach Hauser.
Coach Hauser. What's your first name, Coach?
Brandon.
Coach Brandon Hauser. Can you put your headphones on here, Coach?
Sure. Go.
And then we're gonna get that mic nice and close. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All up in your ear?
Absolutely.
Okay. So get nice and close to that microphone because it's real noisy in here. So if you need to move the whole thing closer to you, you can. And just make sure that knob is good and tight there. So
this one here.
Yeah, there you go. So then that thing won't fall down.
Perfect. Cool.
You're a big dude. You're a big dude.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So tell me about your lifting and working out and all that stuff. Like, what do you do on a regular in the gym yourself personally?
Myself personally, I've kind of gone through phases. I went through a strength phase when I was over at Iowa doing my internship. I did a bench press competition with some of the other Iowa coaches over there. So
how'd that go?
Me and a guy, one of the strength coaches, tied at 420.
Wow.
Yeah. So we kind of both got first, but that was a fun time. But ever since then, I'm trying to get back into bodybuilding. That's always been like something I've been passionate about. So I want to compete eventually, probably in the next year or so.
Good for you.
Yep.
And for the guys that are taller, the bigger guys, man, you got to put in the work.
It's a lot harder, than the shorter guys. I'm competing against guys that'll be like 5'8", right?
Right.
And I'm 6'4", so I got to put on a lot more size to even be in comparison with them. So it's a lot harder for sure. But
the diet, how's the diet going these days?
You know, after a while, you kind of get used to it. You kind of figure out what you like. Like for me, I've been eating a lot of sirloin lately. Like I love steak, right?
Yeah.
So I try to find meals and food that I don't get tired of. Like I get super tired of chicken, right? Eating that all the time. So.
It's tough. There's only so many ways you can stir that up.
I know. It's like I grill too, so like I always try to at least have good chicken when I make it instead of just normal baked or whatever. So I always try to have my meals at least tasty, you know.
Let's talk about your hometown. Where the heck are you from?
I'm from here, actually, Cedar Rapids.
You're from Cedar Rapids?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you go to high school?
So I went to Jefferson my freshman and sophomore year, and then I transferred over to Prairie. That's where I graduated from.
Wonderful.
Yep.
I was just saying, we just Prairie just built a brand new big 9th grade building.
Mm-hmm.
we outfitted their whole weight room with all their new equipment.
Their facilities are crazy now. I wish I would have had that stuff when I was there.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Yeah, we took out all the old power racks and all that stuff, and we kind of collaborated with some different people. And then when they built that 9th grade building, we put in all new stuff from our friends at Star Trek Fitness, all new treads, ellipticals. And then our friends at True Fitness, they've got these cool pod strength machines that you can get 4 kids at one time on that thing. Yeah. So it's perfect for like the general fitness areas of the high schools. And we've had some really good luck with that. So what was your favorite sport? Was it football?
For sure. Yeah, I played D-line back in high school.
I bet you mowed some people down.
I tried to.
Yeah.
I tried to, yeah.
I'm sure you enjoyed some success, right? You can brag a little bit.
I loved hitting people, yeah. I wish I would have played college ball, but I decided not to, just because of injuries and stuff that I had. So, but yeah, I do miss football the most, for sure.
Well, you're still living in the ecosystem here, right?
Absolutely.
So how many hours out of the day do you find yourself in this room?
At Coe, so I'm still a student over at Mount Mercy right now. So I train my own teams in the evenings. I have men's and women's track and field as well as men's soccer. So I am here Monday through Friday from 5 to about 6:30 p.m. And then whenever I have time, I'm also here in the morning. So I'm usually here Monday, sometimes Wednesday morning from about like 5 to 8 or 9 when I have class.
Seems like a really good group of leaders and coaches and all of that here.
I love Coach Vass. He's given me a great opportunity to learn from him, learn about programming, learn about coaching, getting my coaching voice ready for when I go to graduate school. So it's really been a good step for me in the right direction for strength and conditioning.
What I find interesting about Coach Vass, which I think is more the exception than the rule, he's opened himself up to new ideas and new ways of doing things, and just always open for other people's input and opinion.
Absolutely.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, because you kind of live in that world, that's not necessarily always the case, right?
Right. Yeah, everyone's pretty much, I feel like a lot of people just do the same thing. With Coach Vass, he's had a lot of years of experience, so he knows like the ins and outs and knows what works. And that's cool for me to see, because I get to see different types of training. Because I've been over at Mount Mercy, I've been at Iowa, like I said, and it's always different. Everyone's different. So it's cool to see a different training style.
Coach, I'm gonna need some help getting in over there at Mount Mercy, because I'm sure they've got some older equipment that's hanging around. Maybe they've got some brand new stuff. Maybe it's a mix of both.
Yep.
But certainly Treadmill Heroes. We sell a ton of new best brands. So and reconditioned stuff too. So if they're looking for something, you'll have to.
Absolutely.
Get a hold of us. Have them look us up on any one of the socials, and we'll get in touch with them. And the thing is with that, the funding. Sometimes schools just don't have the funding for these weight rooms, and because not everybody's a University of Iowa.
Right. Yeah. At Mount Mercy too, they are just now getting a football team. So they're finding the funding for that. They're also going to be hiring a strength coach, I believe, next year. So they're kind of advancing in the weight room. So, yeah, that might be definitely a good thing for you here in the next year.
Yeah, for sure. Things. Yeah, we'll get in there and we can do the whole 3D walkthrough layouts with all the pretty pictures and videos and all that stuff. But today we're talking about Coe College and what we can do for you guys. And we're here to raise money for this weight room. And that's why I got involved in this, because I love the concept of we're going to raise money for a specific thing, a specific department. Not, we're just going to raise money for the general fund and then let everybody fight over it. Yeah. And I think that's great. And kudos to Coach Vass for setting a goal, hitting it already, but we got to double that goal.
We got to keep going.
You got to get there, because you know, $10,000 doesn't go very far in a weight room.
Absolutely not. It's not even enough for a set of dumbbells.
No, it's not. Yeah. Especially the new custom ones you got from us.
Especially if you want a logo on them too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that kind of stuff costs money these days, and fitness equipment is no exception. So it's pricey stuff.
Absolutely. Yep.
Walk me through like today. Like, what are you going to do today? You've been in here since, what, 5 o'clock this morning, 5:15?
About 5:15, yep.
So what's Coach Brandon Hauser going to do for the rest of the day?
Well, we have here, what time is it? About 7:30, we're going to have our next football group. That we're going to do our squat testing. So we're going to get pretty amped up in here that you guys will probably see in the background. But yeah, we're going to do about 85% squat testing. So we're going to hit about 3 to 5 rep range.
So did you say we got more football coming in here?
We sure do.
Oh, okay. All right,
Yeah.
great. So for whatever reason, I thought that we already shot off the football cannon. We're still going.
Yeah, we only have so much space in here, so we do multiple groups of football. So we'll have 2 groups of football today. So we're only halfway done. But
What do you think the big number is going to be on the squat rack?
we had a guy hit 515 for, I think, 3 today.
That's
So
pretty darn good.
At this level, it's very impressive.
Yes.
So-
I mean, those are numbers you're seeing at the big schools.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
a 515 squat for 1 is impressive, let alone for 3 in the
for
bucket.
reps. Yeah, it's very impressive. But hopefully we get to see some more 4 plates. I like the heavy numbers. Every guys are getting amped up, so they're pressing numbers a lot more than they think they can, which is very beneficial for everyone. So
I've never gone to the Arnold Classic. How was it?
I recommend it. It depends what you're interested in, though. I will say, like, if you're interested in, like, jiu-jitsu, it might not be the place for you because there's not really a big crowd for it. But for the bodybuilding community and for strongman and powerlifting, it's huge. I mean, there's thousands, probably close to 30, 50,000 people just in the expo itself.
Wow.
So very crowded, but it's a very big space. Highly recommend if you're into like fitness brands, fitness clothing. They have everything, free samples. They're selling all their merch. It's really cool to see. But the thing that I like the most is being able to see like popular Instagram faces in person, like seeing what they're like in person, seeing the personality, stuff like that. And that was really cool for me to see.
The fitness world has really taken a hold of all the socials. Mm-hmm. And it's great to see.
Absolutely.
Right? There's good and bad with it, right? But in general, it's a wealth of knowledge, and there's so much information out there. Mm-hmm. And it's great to see, you know, and I don't know. I think it's great in the sense that the bodybuilding world, you have to put so much time and so much effort. It is not easy to take the body that God gave you and build it into this muscular, defined, chiseled physique. It is extremely hard.
Yes.
And it's hard in the gym, but it's super hard up here. Like you've got to be rock solid mentally and be willing to go all in on, I'm just going to get in the best possible physical shape I can be in. And yeah, it takes place in the squat rack and on the bench, but it also takes place in front of the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm. That's the hardest part, is the eating. Yeah.
What do you struggle with the most in the diet part of things?
I'm always like, since I was a kid, I've always like loved sweets. So I would say I definitely get a sweet tooth every now and then. I get cravings, but it's really as long as I stay occupied, it's pretty easy to avoid those and think about it. But when you start getting hungry, you start dieting really heavily, it's very challenging. But you just gotta remind yourself what your goals are. Sometimes you can replace those cravings with something healthy, right? So like you can do like a sugar-free drink to replace that. So you just gotta find alternatives, really.
When you're in it, when you're getting ready for especially a competition, it plays a huge role on your social life,
yes,
too.
Absolutely.
And when you're a younger guy, because how old are you, Coach?
I'm actually 26 now.
So you're 26, but you're still a young guy,
Yep.
right? When you're 26 years old, your social life is in full swing, right? Yep. So how does that affect you, or are you kind of an introvert to begin with? Like, tell me about you and your social world, and how your training and diet and goals to get back on the bodybuilding stage, how do those intertwine?
I've always been pretty introverted myself, but like I've never really struggled with the college life and going out and drinking and all that kind of stuff. But I've always been pretty understanding of like I'm just not that kind of person. So it was not that challenging for me, but for
you didn't have to give it up.
No,
you never really got into it.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, like in high school, maybe I liked going out and partying every now and then with friends, but like ever since high school, like not really. It's just been kind of, like I like to do my own thing, and then bodybuilding is really great for that.
So you are on this end of things as far as like the partying lifestyle and everything else, but on my podcast back in Wilton, I will from time to time have some seniors from the Wilton High School come in, and we'll just sit down and talk about just general life stuff.
Sure.
And one of the topics that comes up is drinking, specifically drinking alcohol. Are you seeing it on the college campuses now where is drinking alcohol kind of becoming the new taboo cigarettes, where people are like drinking less, or not so much? Or do you feel like the party meter is still all the way pegged?
I think it just depends on the individual. Like I still hear about drinking on campus. Like I hear guys, still going out on the weekends, stuff like that. But like I don't know, like overall, I think it's gone down a little bit. I think people are kind of getting away from it, kind of getting more into being healthy, which is great.
I think it is too.
Yeah. But like on campus, I still see, people talking about going out on the weekends and whatnot.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the amount of alcohol consumed today by high school and college kids, I'd love to do some research, because I gotta believe that amount is down from, say, 2000.
Absolutely, I think so too. Yeah, I think it's definitely gone. It's like not a popular trend anymore. Like if you are sober or you are healthy, like it's a good thing now.
Yes.
I feel like it used to kind of just be like you were an outcast almost, and you weren't fitting in. But I kind of feel like you can go both ways.
That's just it. I don't feel like, in this day and age, you have to necessarily justify why you're not drinking alcohol at that point in time.
Yeah.
And I think that's a cool thing.
Absolutely. It's a great thing.
Hey, you want to go out and party, man, live your life. Yeah. Go do it. I mean, I'll never tell anybody to not go out and have a good time. But there again, at the same time, I don't think people get harassed quite as much for not drinking as they may have 15, 20 years ago.
Which is just a great thing.
Yeah. Who's your best pal on this campus that you would say? Who do you have the best relationship with?
As far as anybody?
Anybody at Coe College, like if you could say, you know what, I'm pretty tight with this person. I like their style.
So I interned here last summer as well. So like I know Coach Vass pretty well. We had an intern over the summer named Emmy. He's getting really big into powerlifting, so I like him a lot. But as far as like in this room, I'd say Chloe right behind me. She actually went to Mount Mercy with me.
Where's Chloe at?
Right here, the short one.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So I went to class with her. We were pretty close in class. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be in 5 years, if all goes well?
After graduate school, hopefully I will be the idea is to be an assistant strength coach somewhere, hopefully at a D1 program for football. So I want to go to the high levels of football.
Sure.
So.
You got some people you can start networking through?
I'm trying.
I'm
really trying. Yeah.
Well, if you're a D1 school, Coach Brandon Hauser, he's the.
Let me know.
From what I can tell, he seems like a pretty stand-up guy. It seems like he's got his act together and making all the right moves. What's your favorite tattoo?
Favorite tattoo? I'd probably say this one on my forearm here. It's a dragon with a dagger. My dad has almost the exact same tattoo on his back, so.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we kind of share tattoos.
So you're pretty close with your old man?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah?
We're really close.
Are you an only kid?
I have a half-sister.
Half-sister?
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Well, hopefully your dad's watching this right now, and the rest of your family, and if anyone is out there watching, throw some money at Coe College for the Kohawk Power Lift-A-Thon. We've got a thinger here. We got a QR code, and then there was a website that we should be plugging. Is it linked? Okay, so the website where you can donate is linked. See how fancy we are here, Coach. Who are we going to put in the hot seat next year? You get to pick. We're playing a game of hot potato.
What do you want? You want intern or athlete?
I don't care. I want someone that's interesting here, and I mean, I wouldn't mind either or. So you get to pick.
Have you had Trenton on here yet?
So we harassed Trenton yesterday a little bit, but I did not have him on here.
Okay.
So, or not yesterday, but Monday. I think we ought to have Trenton.
I think you should. I mean, he just did his his little NFL combine, so he's trying to gear up for professional football.
No kidding? Mm-hmm. I did not know that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, we got to get him in here.
Great athlete, great running back. So.
You seem like you're making the right moves, Coach.
I'm trying.
So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Coach Brandon Hauser, we're going to see him on the big stage someday soon, I'm
Hopefully.
sure. So congratulations on everything you do, Coach.
Thank you.
Let's get Trenton over here. Let's harass him, and
Gotcha.
maybe I'll see you next time at the Arnold Classic.
Perfect.
Maybe
Thank
on
you.
stage one of these days.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Thanks, Coach. If you're just tuning in right now, we're here at Coe College up here in Cedar Rapids. We're raising money up here in their weight room so they can make some improvements. They can add to an already great setup and a great program. And I'm just having fun up here. So what better way to spend our Wednesday than to be up here listening to a bunch of yelling and screaming and banging and clanging with all the weights. Trenton, get in here. Throw that headset on.
Gotcha.
Mr. Intern, everybody's favorite intern. You're going to need to, you can move that mic, get it nice and close, like as close as possible.
Gotcha. Is this good?
Yeah, like way up in there.
You're breathing.
Yeah, we're a noisy environment in here.
That's
so
very true.
Where are you from?
I'm from southern Indiana.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Name the town.
It's called Madison. It's a little river town on the Ohio.
Madison, Indiana.
Yes, sir.
How little?
It's like 12,000-ish, something like that, 10 to 12.
That's a big-ass town. Yeah, what are we talking about here? I'm from a town of 3,000,
Okay,
so yeah.
I mean, it's grown a little bit, I guess you could say, yeah. Feels small.
You were a good football player.
I was okay.
Still are.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not too bad, I guess.
So run me through your football timeline up until today. So you tell me about high school.
High school, historically, it's pretty rough program, I'd say. The glory days were 80s or 90s, right? And they were, 500. That was the glory days.
Yeah.
6-4, usually something like that. 7. There's a couple good seasons, but I won. I think I won 6 games in 4 years. So it was rough going, but loved the town, loved the game, so I stuck through it and enjoyed it. Obviously, when we played college ball.
What do you think was one of the contributing factors to where, if you could go back to your hometown and wave a magic wand to help the football program enjoy a little bit more success?
Yeah.
Was it a funding thing? Was it a coaching thing? Was it just a economic thing?
I'd say I'm not sure exactly what's behind it. I know we had a lot of good athletes that played football, but either they just kind of fizzled out and quit playing, or they moved to better schools. And I think maybe because they had the idea that Madison kind of sucks at football, so I'm not going to go anywhere from there. So they moved to kind of more populated areas that get more recruiting.
Sure.
So we had some pretty good dudes who we had a couple guys who ended up playing Power 5 football, D1, that had been at Madison at one point, but they moved away before they graduated. So it's kind of a lot of guys moved away, and then I kind of think just the buy-in in general just was kind of low, just because it was that thing, Madison sucks, so it's why am I going to try? It seemed like.
Yeah.
Because funding, my senior year, we got a brand new turf field, got brand new uniforms, and we had good funding. My junior year, we got a brand new head coach, so the numbers were kind of low that year. We had some, I think my junior year, we had maybe 50 guys, 60 guys, and 20 of them were hurt, so there was a couple years we had some low numbers that kind of attributed to the rough seasons, but my senior year we kind of turned it around. We only won 3 games, but we were scoring the most points in school history, nightly basis. We had a pretty good team, just had some tough competition. I think we lost 4 or 5 games by a touchdown that year, so we started to turn it around. And this year they actually ended up getting a new coach. I think this year it was his first season, and I think they went 5-5, maybe 5.
So maybe a little uptick.
Yeah, they're getting a little uptick. I just had a guy commit to Indiana State, which was the first guy like to stay there all 4 years, I think, in a while and like play get to have a chance to play some big time ball. So it's turning around. My time was a little rough, but it's looking like it's on the upper trend right now.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
So when you say your hometown is a town of a smaller community of 12,000,
Yeah.
put it into perspective for me. Like, what were the size of some of the other schools and towns that you played against?
We were kind of like I think actually Madison, we were the smallest 4A or like one of the bottom 4As in the state. So we played against some schools. We were usually the smallest school in our we were the smallest school in the conference for sure. So there was, I don't know. I mean,
who was your rival?
They're called Jennings County Panthers. They had, I think so. Our enrollment was like 800, 900 or something like that in my high school, and theirs was like 12 to 1,500 maybe, something like that. They're our rival. It was kind of we won 1 year, they won 1 year, kind of thing my whole career. So I think 2 of the 4 we got. But yeah, they were the rival. They still are. I got the Battle of the Railroad trophy back home because our railroads connect the towns together.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
So what's the trophy like? Is it just called that, or is there did they put like a little train on it or anything like that?
There's a red train for the Madison, a blue train for Jennings County, and then they got a chain like they're pulling back and forth each other on an actual railroad tie.
So that travels back and forth.
Yeah. Well, at least it used to all the time. It might here and there nowadays. I'm not too sure if the train's still running on that track specifically, but
well, the trophy itself, it moves.
Yeah, back it's a moving trophy. Each year that you win it, you get to keep it.
It's like the pig trophy that goes back and forth between Iowa and Iowa State, right?
Yeah, it's a traveling trophy for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So then did you go to Coe here?
Yeah.
And then you played football here.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So tell me about by the way, what position do you play?
I'm a running back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're getting all the glory.
Yeah.
You're getting all the glory. You're the pretty boy.
I get helped out by the big hogs up front.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me about are you done now?
Yeah. This is my senior year. So
you're playing this year.
No. Like this was my.
This
senior
was
year. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. Like, how did it go here?
Great.
Do I see your name on the wall here anywhere? Are there going to be a bronze statue out by the field?
I don't think there'll be a statue. No, I just had one good, really, really solid year, I guess. The biggest part about those, like just the guys throughout the way that I met, was the best part. But we had some decent years. Like my freshman year, I got moved to slot receiver actually as a freshman because we just kind of had some like depth issues, I guess. So I was kind of playing the backup role as a freshman in the receiving core, and then we got moved back to running back my sophomore year because we kind of filled those holes that we needed at the slot. So from sophomore year on, I was playing running back. This year, the goal was actually, the plan was, because me and there's another running back who was a fifth year this past year. His name was Ray. He we were kind of a 1-2 punch, but we like to cycle running backs a bit. So I'd be on the field for a drive, and then he'd be on the field for a drive, and so it just kind of seemed like we wanted both of us on the field at the same time. So I was going to be playing slot again this year. So we'd both been in the field, but he ended up breaking his leg week 2. So I kind of went back to full-time running back positions and took over for the season.
So you're kind of a mentor here for some of these guys, right? I mean, you've enjoyed some success within the program.
Yeah.
Now you're interning for the strength program.
Yeah.
And did I hear a rumor you're going to go to the combine? You're going after some NFL stuff?
I'm trying to play some pro ball. Yeah, I just had a pro day / combine showcase this past weekend actually in New York. So I just got back from that. Had some numbers that were good and some numbers that I ran a little slower than I had been in the prep phase. So I was kind of upset about that. But overall, it was a good experience and a good opportunity.
What's your thought? What is your thought on it? Like if you look back at the combine. Right, the combine is what you went.
Sure,
right?
Yeah, he has combine.
So you go back to that. Do you think you're going to get a call?
I would really hope so. I D3, it's not like a sought after division to kind of recruit guys out of. So
it's an uphill battle from the get go.
Yeah, it's definitely an uphill battle. There's a couple guys in the NFL right now from the D3 level, but most of them are they were guys who should have probably been playing D1 right out of high school, but for whatever reason they went D3. So it's definitely an uphill battle from this level. But I'm young. I'm in good shape. I feel good. I've been playing pretty good football. I feel like I can at least give it a shot. So I'd say if anything, I'd get some sort of smaller league to start, and it'd be like a stepping stone to work on my goals.
Would you play in an arena league or something like that?
I would definitely take it to begin with. I think just the thing is with me, I'm gonna need more film than anything. And my film, I think, speaks for itself. Like I can, I put the guys to work in the field. So I just get some more film of doing that, and I think it'll lead my way. I got a decent size to me. I run pretty good. I move the weight pretty good. Like I'm a size of a guy who could play in the league. I just need the film for it, I think. So that's kind of where I'm going with.
Meaning, when you say you need the film for it, you need as many highlight reels as you can get.
Yeah. I'm like if I had 3 years of the film I had from this year here, I might have had a better shot. But kind of just 1 year of like hey, he ran for 1,300 yards and whatever it was and touchdowns. Like it's a good year, but he's only got 1 year of it. So I feel like you get more depth in that film. It helps out for sure.
So in other words, you go get into like an arena league or something like that, and you do really good. And you've got a whole lot of highlights you can send off.
Yeah.
The more someone's going to look at you.
Yeah, for sure. The more like reputable leagues and professional leagues you got, professional film, you can say, I guess, out of this level, going that route helps out a lot. Because this is kind of like speaking on Coe football royalty, but like Fred Jackson, he played here and he played for the Bills for, 9 years, 10 years, whatever it was. And he started out I think he started out arena football and then got NFL Europe job, and then the NFL job came his way too. So he started out in arena ball and then worked his way up. So I think, it's anything's possible for sure.
Is there anything you like to do that you could earn some money doing while you're pursuing this dream?
Yeah, I do. I enjoy this. I've for the past 2 summers, and then like this winter internship, I've been doing like some strength coaching and whatnot. 2 years ago I was a strength coach at my old high school back home, and then last summer I was like intern coach at the gym I train at. And then now I'm doing this again out here with Coach Bass, and I enjoy it quite a bit. So this is I'm thinking about getting in this field while I'm still working at playing some pro ball.
When you go home, are you pretty well known?
Amongst my buddies, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess maybe a little bit, but no,
within will you go home and catch a game? Or not so much, just the way schedules work.
Yeah, I haven't you talking about like football game?
Yeah, like a football game.
Or
a homecoming game, or does this conflict with that schedule?
Football definitely conflicted with it. If I was a closer drive, I could, but I'm like a 7-hour drive from home.
Yeah.
So I really couldn't. We play on Saturdays, they play on Fridays. I couldn't go back home and come back out before we get out, with practice and whatnot. So I haven't caught a game since I played, but. If I do end up going back home to work while I'm still trying to play ball, I'll catch a few games for sure.
This is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun.
It's a great event.
So these we've got the swimmers in here right now, right?
Yes.
And this is why I like this event.
Yeah.
Because when you say Lift-A-Thon, okay, definitely football is going to be in there.
Right.
Maybe we'll see some wrestlers.
Yeah.
Maybe,
you
but
think of like the heavy lifting.
You don't think you're going to see the swimmers in here,
right.
or any of the track athletes,
right.
or things like that. And I even heard bowling.
Yeah, bowling
goes through some of the strength stuff here.
They got their event tomorrow afternoon. Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be fun, and this is going to go till Friday. The fundraising goes until Sunday, I believe, and then the event goes until Friday.
I think so, yes.
So if you're from a town of 12,000 people in Indiana and you just saw Trenton, your hometown hero, here in the Coe College weight room, talking about the Kohawk Lift-A-Thon, you know what? Throw a couple bucks our way, because it all goes right here to the weight room.
Right, it wouldn't hurt.
You got any socials you want to plug?
Yeah, I guess like my Instagram, it's t.barnes.2. It's all lowercase, I guess.
t.barnes. And then the number 2.
Yep.
BARNES.
Yep.
And that's on what?
Instagram.
Is that like your main go-to?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm not like huge on social media, but like the main one I use is Instagram for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one you open and thumb troll?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your scroll.
Yeah,
that's your scroll platform.
That's my one that I sit on and look at for who knows how long for no reason.
I'll tell you what, man. Doing stuff like this is maddening in the sense. This is the easy part. Mm-hmm. The maddening part is getting all the material and getting it all cut up and then put on all the platforms.
I can imagine.
And that's what's interesting about the whole AI thing right now is AI will help you kind of edit some of this stuff, but you still got to go through it.
Right.
You still got to be like, well, that wasn't exactly the edit I wanted.
Right,
then you kind of get caught in the weeds, and it can be a nightmare trying to promote and do things.
I could definitely see where you're coming from with that for sure.
You know, you talk to a lot of these kids that are going through business school and all of this, and business now has evolved into you just got to be a constant promoter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you'll talk to someone, they'll be like, well, do you have a Snapchat page? Like, what? Like,
why does that matter?
Why does that matter?
Yeah.
Like, you know, or someone will say, well, I looked on your Facebook page and I didn't know if you guys were still in business or whatever. Just that we don't get that so much because we're trying to always put out material. But think of the poor guy who's just trying to like get his name out there, like with a landscaping company or something like that. And unless you're posting TikTok videos every day, it seems like you're irrelevant.
Right. Yeah.
And you might be the best guy in the game.
And no one knows who you are.
Yeah, you just don't do a lot of social media stuff. So solve that problem for us business owners.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I mean, I feel like that's going to be a big opportunity for a big crop of people coming out of college or even in college to go to businesses to say, and if you're a college kid right now and you're like a big social media person, like, because there are probably in this room, there's probably 2 or 3 that are really big into social media. And you could literally go to 10 businesses around Coe College within walking distance and go, hey, for a few bucks, I'll promote your business. You just send me pictures and video, and I'll post them on all the platforms, and I'll do the edits, and I'll jazz it up for you, and I'll get your phone ringing. That's a real business opportunity for people.
Definitely
and if you're going to be at home anyway, unwinding and you know, thumb scrolling, you might as well be putting some stuff out there.
Yeah.
And even if you make a few bucks doing it, it's better than making no bucks.
Right.
Sitting there doing the same thing. So tell that to all your friends, because, man, businesses need them right now. Do you know who that guy is right there?
That's the president of the college.
We want him on the thing. What's his name?
President Hayes.
Hey, President Hayes, would you mind coming on the podcast for a minute? All right, Trenton, nice talking to you.
Yeah,
Best of luck with everything. Trenton, everybody.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see you on Super Bowl Sunday someday.
That's the goal.
All right, man. Give us a shout out at Treadmill Heroes if you do. That'd be worth about $2 billion at that point. So, hey, thanks, man. All right. We are having.
How you doing?
Yep. Doing great. You lifting? No, I'm just getting through, pushing through, watching video.
Hello, sir. How we doing?
Doing great.
Let's throw these headphones on.
You bet.
And then feel free to just pick up that stand and move it as close as you can. Because of all the noise in here, we got to keep the microphones really close.
Got it.
So tell everybody that's watching, who do I have the pleasure of talking to right now?
Well, my name is David Hayes. I've been at Coe for over 20 years. I'm a Coe alum. Worn a lot of hats here, and I currently serve as its 16th president. So excited to come over today. Coach told me to come check out the Lift-A-Thon, and happy to be here and seeing everybody getting after it early this morning. And appreciate your help in getting it going and taking care of us with equipment and barbells so they can throw some stuff around today. So.
You bet. You know, this was a fun event, David, when we heard about it, because when Coach Vass came to me and said, hey, we were trying to raise more money for the fitness room, and the fact that all the money raised is going to go towards just more tools in the toolbox right in here. This is a thing that is kind of new to me. You know, you don't have a lot of this happening sometimes, and sometimes colleges just don't have $1 million just sitting in a budget somewhere to be like, oh, buy whatever you want for the weight room. You know, you guys don't necessarily have that luxury here, and this is a great event. Seeing all these kids. What are you thinking about it so far?
So it's fun to see everybody getting after it. I have a tremendous amount of respect for any athlete at the D3 level. Over the last couple of decades, I don't think most of the public recognizes how special these kids are in terms of their athletic ability, their commitment. It's year-round nutrition, year-round fitness. They've been coached from a very young age, so their technique is so much better than I ever knew about. back in my day. And, the balancing it against being an academic scholar at a place at Coe that has rigorous academics, it's a hard thing. And you have to be committed on both sides of the house. You have to prioritize your time. You have to know what your values are. And, to be in here before 8 a.m. class, participating in a fun event, that just shows you who they are as people. And so we're happy to support all this. This is a big part of who Coe College is. We really feel that Coe's footprint is about preparing people for lives of personal and professional success, and being committed to an event like this to try to help generate some interest in the college, to give back. And that's all a part of what we do. So it's a good morning over here.
Yeah, we walked in the door at 5:30 this morning.
That's what I heard.
After driving here from the Quad Cities, and I mean, it was thundering in here already. I mean, there was a lot of action happening.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's a cool space. We've got the Henderson recruiting room up there, which provides a really nice vantage point. You see out most of the campus, the Racket Center down in here, see people going across the room to the Strom Athletic Wellness Center, and it's just a really nice venue. And provides a lot of opportunities for students who choose Coe.
Well, and speaking of Henderson, so when you can't see it obviously on camera here, but there's a campus road right outside the building here, and there's a skywalk that goes over the road, and you guys have it set up really cool. You got all your cardio equipment lined up on that skywalk, and it overlooks the road. There's a ton of natural light that comes in there, and this has been such a good relationship to build up and cultivate between Treadmill Heroes and Coe, because when we got the call and we heard that, hey, we're having some problems with service and we need to get some of our equipment up and fixed, and it was really rewarding for us to come in here and look at the stuff and find out what it needed and get everything brought back up to where it needs to be. And kudos to you guys for throwing the funding at that, because there's a lot of schools out there that just let stuff just go to the wayside, and you guys were saying, no, we want to make sure that all of our equipment runs great for all of our students to use, not just the athletes, right? Because a lot of athletes are in and out of this room, but over there it's the general fitness area, and it's a great setup over there.
It is, and that's also part of our commitment is, there's no closed spaces at Coe in any way, right? So it doesn't matter if you're on a varsity team, club team, intramurals, never been a part of varsity athletics at Coe in your life, every space is open. And we have a lot of people that prioritize wellness and fitness. And, if you've never lifted before, our strength coach will show you the ropes and help you out, whether you're an athlete or not. And that's just, we're committed to teaching. That's just who we are. It's in our DNA. So making sure that the equipment is ready to go, whether you're somebody who has to get in that workout that day or coach is going to yell at you, or you're somebody who's just trying equipment for the first time, kind of need it to work, right? So this space is a big part of our footprint at Coe. We have a large number of our students are also athletes, and so this is a resource that helps Coe advance in a number of ways. So it's important to keep things as polished up as we can, but it is tough, right? I mean, none of this stuff is going to fix itself. It all has costs involved, and so you do what you can, and you ask for help where you need it, and try to keep it moving in the right direction. So
when you went to school here, David, talk me through what the fitness facilities were like at that time.
Yeah. So I wrestled here at Coe for a couple of years, set the career record for losses, I think. I was not a very good wrestler.
It's good to be a record holder regardless.
Yeah, no, I had some injuries and a profound lack of talent, I think, is what caught up to me. But we had a good-sized wrestling room that was well-equipped. Coe's got a rich tradition in wrestling, which, of course, Coach O and his team have really added to. 4 All-Americans this year, 6th in the country. Coach O's going into the Wrestling Hall of Fame as coach with ceremony later this summer, which we'll celebrate in a big way because he's had a huge impact here at Coe. But the weight room was a classroom that just had like some universal stationary stuff in there, maybe a couple of barbells, maybe a bench or two. And, you know, if you had 10 guys or women in there cranking away, that was it. You weren't going to put anybody else in that room. No air conditioning.
Yeah, not to mention it's probably 150 degrees in there, too.
No air conditioning, and it was brutal. But we also, you know, we were – maybe you got some instruction in high school on lifting. Camps were just starting in a big way at that point. So if you'd gone to a wrestling camp or something like that, maybe somebody somewhere is showing you what to do.
Somebody had an Airdyne laying around somewhere.
Right,
yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of learn as you go, and over the last couple of decades. So this is, you know, I came to Coe in 1989. So this isn't yesterday, right? None of this facility was here. Fitness Bridge wasn't here. Racket Center was just coming online, and you know, we didn't know any different, right? We thought we had it. The fact that they would wash your workout gear for you after a practice, I thought I was in the major leagues.
That was a nice amenity.
Yeah,
it
was like having your name on a bat. You know, I didn't have to do my own laundry, so I was stoked with just that. And but again, the entire ecosystem around athletics has grown so much. One of the really cool things about Division III athletics at this point is you can find out how good you can be. Right, you're gonna have the support you need at Coe, between your coaches, coach here in the power area, the ability to work out year round. You're gonna know what your talent level ceiling is because you're gonna play really elite competition. You're gonna have a chance to compete at the national level. You know, last year we had more teams than not send somebody or a team to something beyond the conference. So, you know. You're going to find out what your runway is, and I think that's an important part of growing up, is never leaving the cards there where you're like, hey, I wonder what I could have done. You can find out here, while at the same time getting an amazing education, right? You know,
yeah, you guys have deep roots when it comes to the education part of this. I mean, Coe is, it's rich with athletes, but you're not just putting it all on the fields or on the courts. I mean, it's in the classrooms here too.
Right. Yeah, and that was, you know, we had fresh validation of that effort this year. We had the great fortune having our third Rhodes Scholar named, which is one of the most prestigious recognitions an undergraduate student can get, and that's on top of some other really cool things happening on the academic side. So we appreciate the impact we can have in terms of the whole student experience, and that's what small colleges do so very well. You're going to grow as a person while also setting yourself up for a lot of success academically, which leads to good steps in your life going forward.
So this isn't all David doing all this stuff. You've got an incredible staff around you, an incredible team. I mean, like, we're looking out the window right now, and I'm seeing 3 landscaping guys like spreading mulch. This whole campus is very pretty. It's a beautiful, well-kept campus, and even that stuff matters. Yeah. But that stuff costs money, and it takes coordination, and it takes thought, and I feel like that right there kind of sums up what is going on at Coe, where you guys are looking at all departments, all areas of the school, saying, how can we just make sure everything is really spruced up and nice and functioning the way it should function? Talk to me a little bit about what's going on there.
So you just have to understand that everybody at Coe is amazingly committed to empowering students and making sure that they have the best experience they can. The faculty and staff at Coe are amazing people. It all starts with passion and character, regardless of what we're working on. And at Coe, our faculty and staff have passion for young people. We're trying to invest in them, and they bring it every day. I joke that every single person on this campus has a job one in their job description is someone who gets stuff done, right? Maybe even a little more aggressive than that. And
yeah.
So, you know, grounds crew, we've got Lisa Chia heading up physical plant. She's been here over 30 years. She's an amazing person. She doesn't have enough resources, but yet, you know, if you walk on this campus, you're like, wow, they're taking care of it. And she can stretch a dollar as well as anyone. Over here in athletics, you have to give a shout out to all of our coaches, head and assistant. They, you know, anything you need, they're there for their students, and they recruit a ton. They're in here after hours constantly. Morning lifts, you don't get to skip those just because you're a coach, right? If your team's here at 6, you're here at 5:45, and that's all appreciated and noted. And then also over in athletics, we're really blessed to have Steve Cook running our show over here. Steve is also our head men's baseball coach, rather. He'll probably be in his Hall of Fame one of these days too, as he just keeps racking up wins. But he's done a really great job leading us through all the chaos of COVID and to this other side as we try to find a new normal. And he's just another example of somebody who takes what he's got to work with and won't quit until he gets it as far as he can. And you see that throughout this campus. Our faculty are wonderful people. They care deeply about Coe, and they're working every day to bring new ideas, new programs, new opportunities for our students forward in a way that is strong and serves students well, but is also forward-looking. And you don't find that on every campus. So I have tremendous respect and appreciation for everyone who calls themselves a Kohawk and helps out on this campus. We're blessed to be a part of this community.
David, you've probably got a whole lot of boxes you want to check while you're the man in charge here. What's the next one on your list where you're like, that one's going to feel good when we can check that one off?
Yeah, so we've got some good things happening in new programs. So, protecting the core experience that is an academic environment of a small campus is very important to us. But at the same time, we're recognizing that there are opportunities for our students in other areas that we haven't traditionally been in. An example of that is we just launched a new aviation program in the last year.
Really?
Yeah.
So, that's interesting.
Yeah, we'll have Kohawks up in the air this fall flying in an aviation operations and flight school program. Partnered with Eastern Iowa Airport and Rev Aviation to provide the flight component of those degrees. But you can now get an emphasis in aviation operations here at Coe College as your BA, knock out your Part 141, which we've applied for on the commercial flight side, and go after Coe and be qualified once you get your flight hours in to sit in the right seat of regional jets.
Wow,
so,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
How does that even, no pun intended, but how does that even get off the ground?
Yeah,
because
so here's the deal. You can't talk about a new aviation program without those puns.
Yeah.
So I used to apologize
Okay.
for them, but it's all about the runway we need.
Yeah.
Lift off here. This thing's going to soar.
But
you
at some
can't
point,
avoid it, right?
yeah, exactly. But at some point, someone's like, what we ought to do? We ought to figure out an aviation program. That obviously takes some thought around that and a ton of coordination. So how does it go?
So all credits go to Marty Lenz, who's the director out at Eastern Iowa Airport. About 4 years ago, Marty has a full vision of an academic campus out at the airport. And so he started working with Kirkwood Community College, which now has an aviation tech and maintenance program that's just exploded and going gangbusters. Started talking with us about, could you do the undergraduate component of this? We're now talking with the high schools in the area about some of their workforce pathways that they're developing around aviation. And then you just look at the area we're in. It's a very aviation-rich environment. The Wright brothers lived here for a period of time. You've got Rockwell, Collins, and all that it does, BAE and others. And so it just, with that ability to leverage partnerships beyond your campus and take advantage of an area in the market that clearly, we all need planes and flight tower operators and maintenance workers to keep that going. It just seemed like too good of an opportunity to pass up. We've got a couple of more of those things cooking right now too that we'll be announcing over the next month or two that will make Coe a more comprehensive college, provide opportunities for people to access a Coe degree in new ways. And that's on top of some creative reformation that we've done of existing programs to make them as streamlined as possible, yet highly relevant to job success. And then the other thing that we've done, and another box that we got to check again, is we've really put a good foot forward into career development. Our internship program is ranked almost every year in the top 20 by the Princeton Review of all colleges and universities nationwide. And that's, our calling card is you're in Cedar Rapids. You're a small campus, but you've got a big city. And
that's important to know.
Oh, yeah, and all the opportunities that you have for jobs, internships, mentoring, the ability to connect to the arts, other community resources. It gives you the ability to be kind of in your bubble here at Coe, but at any given time go out and find those experiences which lead to opportunities so that your first step after an undergrad is a very successful one. And so we put a lot of time and attention into that, and I think we've got some new things cooking around career development and more accessible educational opportunities for non-traditional students that, if we leverage that community connection, career connection, helping people find their path, what their passion is, with some of these ways to expand what Coe can offer, I think we'll be sitting pretty good. So,
well, and you said a ton there, but what it really boils down to as well is all of these programs that you guys are working really hard to build, these are attracting high caliber, good quality people to the school as well. Right? Like you don't have somebody that's, kind of made a million missteps in life going, I think I want to fly a plane someday. You've got high caliber people that are being attracted to this machine now.
Yeah, well, certainly. It's a community that rewards hard work and talent. And our commitment, our mission is to put everything in place so that a student can find traction and take it to another level that they maybe hadn't thought of before, right? So we have a lot of students who are first generation. We have a large Pell Grant population, so students not coming from homes with tons of resources. And part of what we do is equip them to understand there's a step they can take that they maybe haven't thought of quite yet, whether it's a career path that they hadn't imagined or going to grad school and doing further educational investment in themselves. And that's where the connecting with successful alums and partners in the community, competing athletically at high levels and equipping our teams to find out who they can be there, that's where it all kind of fits together. And there's nothing cooler than seeing a student who you met as a first-year student when they're walking across that graduation stage and seeing the evolution in them and just that, not cockiness, but a confidence that comes from
an aura,
right? And you just, you see a kid find their traction and grow into a young adult who's going to go live a life of purpose and serve the larger world. And that's your mission, right? And that's what gets you out of bed every day and taking 2 steps at a time, even when there's some headwinds and challenges around. So
you strike me as a guy that doesn't lock himself in an office for the entire day. I feel like you seem like the kind of guy that's walking around campus and breathing the air and getting to know everybody.
I would rather do that than those first few weeks of COVID lockdown. I nearly went crazy. I couldn't do it. So, people need people, in my opinion, and so I like, these students are why we're here, just getting to know them, hearing their stories. There's stuff you can't know about what's happening on a campus unless you're connected to students, and that stuff's important. Coaches having a hard day, if I can show up at their meet, their game, their event, just let them know that we're watching, we're supporting them. That's all part of the job duty. So it's a 24/7 thing. But if you believe in it, it's fun to be a part of. So.
Well, this has been fun. I didn't know we were going to get the man in charge here today.
Well, in fairness, I didn't know I was going to be on a podcast.
Yeah.
I thought I was just coming over to watch people throw more weight around than I'll ever throw around again in my life. So this has been fun. I appreciate it. I appreciate the partnership with you all, and I know you've helped us move some stuff forward, and highly recommend it to anybody out there who's got some equipment they need to have tweaked or improved. And
you bet.
I appreciate keeping our guys and gals in good equipment so they can get a little stronger, a little faster, and jump a little higher. Those are all important things. So.
A little secret, it's far easier for me to sit on my duff and just talk into a microphone than carry all this stuff around all day, which we normally are doing.
Yeah.
So
well, we got you out of that for at least a little bit.
At least for the morning. Yeah, you bet. So David Hayes, right?
Yep.
The man in charge here at Coe College, and from what I can tell, a pretty darn stand-up guy. So
I appreciate
thanks for what you're doing here.
I'm going to try to get out of here before somebody makes me actually work out. But I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a great day.
David Hayes, everybody, Coe College. And if you're just joining in, we are here at the Kohawk Power Lift-A-Thon up here at the beautiful campus up here at Coe College in Cedar Rapids. We're running through a few athletes, a few major players here in the school. Certainly David Hayes, he's in charge of the whole operation here. And so it's that was nice to have him come on and talk, and you can hear the passion in his voice. And I don't know, I don't think the guy was faking it. I think he really does care about this school and the athletes and every student here. He just seems like a guy that's got his ear to the ground and, seems like he's accessible. So that's always a nice breath of fresh air. I think we are working through right now I think we've got the swim team, and now we've got more football players coming in here. And then Coach Vass's little boy, he's running around in here too. I'm sure he's a future Kohawk at some point. So maybe we'll get him lifting a dumbbell here later on. That'd be kind of fun. So we are raising money for the Coe College Kohawks for the weight room, for this program right here, for the strength and conditioning program for all athletes to enjoy. We're trying to help them get some more tools in the toolbox. We're trying to help them raise money. So if you've got any ties to Coe College and you're driving to work or you're driving to your business, or maybe you're just sitting at home in your swimming pool thinking about how much money you got in the bank, maybe you could have just a tiny bit less. Maybe give Coe College a little slice of just the interest that you make off of all that money. Send them a few bucks. They would greatly appreciate it. We've posted the link to how you can give and how you can donate to the school here. And there again, it's not going in a general fund. Every dollar donated is going right here to the weight room, right to the strength and conditioning program for all of the athletes to enjoy and take part in this wonderful program and in the weight room and everything else. So what's interesting is we've got general athletes just coming in here to get their workout in, and we're bringing through players from all the teams to participate in the Lift-A-Thon. Some of them are competing in bench press. Some of them are competing in squats. On Monday when we were here, we saw a lot of kettlebell swings and different things like that. Coach Vass did, what was it, like 220-pound kettlebell swings. And I think he knocked out, like, was it 20 of them? 20 of them? Which, do one of them. Do one of them and tell me if that sucks or not, and then try and knock out 20 of them. It's something else here. So it looks like the athletes are growing a little bit as they're coming in here. These guys, the majority of these dudes, they don't look like they are. They don't look like they're, I don't even know all the football positions off the top of my head right now. Secretly, I'm not a huge sports guy, but I do love supporting colleges, and certainly we all love college football. So this is kind of fun to watch. We need to get somebody else in here to talk to us about what's going on. In fact, I'm going to see if I can find Marley or somebody like that can get somebody in here. Casey, do you want to see if you can track somebody down? Just find somebody that's over there mouth breathing, not doing anything. Let's get them here on the podcast. Let's find out who they are, where they're from. Anybody. Find me somebody new. Just grab me somebody. Somebody new. A random body. That's what I love about doing stuff like this, because we can take a complete stranger and I'll get to know them just like you're getting to know them in real time. Who they are, what do they do? It's like from Kindergarten Cop. Who is your daddy and what does he do? So we're here at Coe College. You can't see it out the window, but it's a beautiful day up here in Cedar Rapids. The campus itself is beautiful, but I'm also seeing constant improvements made to the campus. I'm watching the landscaping crew out there. They're doing some great things. All right, we got somebody else coming in here. Come on in. Make sure you get scoot that chair up here, and we'll. So feel free to. Yeah, I'll wait for your headphones to get on there. There. Am I all up in your ear? Okay. Here, pull that whole stand really close to you. So you got to be with all the noise and the ruckus here in the weight room. It's kind of noisy. Who am I talking to?
Coach Trevor McConnell. I coach our wide receivers here. Coach
Trevor McConnell. Trevor, I'm going to write it down. McConnell, and you coach the wide receivers,
Yes, sir.
right? How long you been here?
I'm going into my second year. So got here last January. So coming into my second year, and Coach Staker kind of poached me, and been a whirlwind ever since.
So you're not a Coe College alum?
No, I'm not even from Iowa, not from the Midwest. I originally was born and raised in Tampa, Florida. Played my college football in the Midwest, and slowly I've matriculated west, but I haven't been able to get back south. So I've made my second home here.
Let's see how far we reach. Trevor, what was the name of your high school that you went to school in down in Tampa?
Berkeley Prep was the school that I went to down in Tampa, Florida. Really prestigious football program that had a massive impact on me and probably started me on my coaching career. But not necessarily a name that a lot of people in the Midwest are aware of.
Well, maybe I'll go online, buy a Berkeley Tech hat, and wear that around. Be like, well, I know a guy that went there.
There you go.
So I'm assuming you were a wide receiver?
I was not. I actually played quarterback. So
did you?
Yep.
Okay.
Played quarterback for 5 years at a Division III school in Ohio, and then went on and I got my first coaching gig as an offensive line assistant at Valparaiso in Indiana, and then from there got promoted to the running backs coach, and now I coach the receivers here. So I've kind of had my hands all over the offensive side of the ball in my coaching career.
You've been around football your whole life.
That I have.
Tell me about that. Like when you were a kid, like were you in front of the TV watching football as a kid?
I was really any sport. So in Florida, we don't have to really deal with winters, which is really nice. In Florida, you can play a sport whenever you want.
Yeah.
So I was a multi-sport athlete. Actually started with baseball, and then baseball coach brought me into football. He was like, hey, you can throw that really far. I was like, awesome. And so I went just multi-sports, and then kind of as you go through, right, your educational system and everything like that, I was able to go from football, basketball, baseball, and then kind of the love was always football, and so that was what I chose to do in college. And then from there, I knew I just wanted to kind of stay around sports. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, so I went the path that was quickest for me to stay around sports and got into coaching. And for me, it's always been about the people, right? You win in life with people, and so I was able to have the ability to have an impact on a lot of guys and do it very quickly in a realm that I enjoyed.
What sport were you the best at?
The sport I was actually the best at was soccer.
Really?
Yeah. And the argument that my family always gives me, both my parents were Division I swimmers.
Okay.
So neither of my parents really played a sport with a ball, but they were both athletic. Both my parents were Division I swimmers. At one point, my dad was actually in the trials for the Olympics. As
wow.
a swimmer.
And that's a razor-thin margin of difference between the guy who swims in the Olympics and the guy who's at home watching it. Razor-thin, right?
Well, and it's actually the Olympics that the United States boycotted. And so my dad, more than likely, he was actually a front runner to qualify. And it's the Olympics that the United States boycotted due to the USSR.
That's right, because it was in Russia, right?
Yeah. And so whenever I meet my family friends, they always look at me and they go, you could have been a swimmer. And I was like, yeah, I'm aware of that part. Swam a little when I was younger, but it wasn't one of those things that I was like, I needed something to chase, AKA a ball or something like that. But that's kind of where my love of sports came from. It was my parents, and then everything took off.
At what point did you decide, okay, soccer is going to be done for me and I'm going to focus on other things?
Yeah, it was kind of the seasons. It was just one of those things where the seasons were overlapping, obviously.
And isn't soccer like a never-ending saga? Like, you never really are done with soccer.
And you have to be in a very special type of shape. And that shape did not necessarily pertain to putting on the weight to be a good football player. Right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, like our guys in here, right, the winter is a massive, massive time for them to get bigger and add weight. As I tell a lot of my receivers that they have to get bigger. And so just soccer was a tough spot where, for me, I wasn't able to add the weight. I was always a guy that needed to be in here and needed to add weight. I couldn't keep weight on. And so soccer, I would shrink. And so that was kind of the biggest thing that I kind of had to make that decision of. And so I went to basketball because basketball I could also lift, and basketball was just a different type of shape. And then baseball, of course, was just, it was that spring sport that a lot of us did. And as a quarterback, you're like, all right, let's go pitch.
Yeah. And you're not, baseball, you're not really losing a lot of size by doing that.
Yeah, it's not as much movement.
We're talking to Trevor McConnell. He is the wide receiver coach here at Coe College. You have been around a lot of different football programs, different coaching styles, different players. Now that you're getting comfortable here at Coe, what are you seeing that you could say, you know what, this program is great because of this?
The people. It's really easy. We say a lot of these things about football and the different standards and the different things, even in the athletics department, but it's the people. Here it's going to be one of those things where it's a family. We don't really talk a ton about culture because if you have to talk about your culture, you probably have a culture problem. And so
that's a good point.
So for us, it's a family, right? You would never walk into the kitchen at home and say, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, how's the culture of our family, right?
Right.
All these people say we're our family, but for us, it's just people, right? And we're going to live it, and that's one of the biggest things that I've been really blessed and lucky to have is when I got here, it's people. They opened me. I lived in our head coach's basement for a month, which with 4 kids running around was a little bit of a shell shock for the 24-year-old, but just the people and being surrounded by the right type of people. And we actually talked about it at our last practice that, what's fun is doing hard things with people you care about, right? That's like truly what is fun. And so you look around here through our entire athletics department, starting at Steve Cook and even President Hayes, who was on here, right? He's super involved in our athletic department, but starts with our athletic director.
Steve Hayes or Dave Hayes?
Dave Hayes.
Dave Hayes.
Steve Cook.
Okay,
so
yep.
Dave Hayes, our president, and he's super involved in our athletic department, down to Steve Cook, our AD. And it kind of just all the way trickles down, and we're all really connected, and we all want to see what's best for our student athletes.
I haven't asked anybody this question yet, but going into this season, the standard answer is yes, we're very optimistic about the season, but when you look at it, do you see some things that are shining a little brighter than others where you're like, man, these areas here, I'm really excited to see how it unfolds?
So you'll find out very quickly if you're around this program that I operate maybe a little bit differently. I'm extremely transparent. The only person or the only people that can control where this season goes are the guys that are standing over here to my left. And we're going to be a team that is full of potential. There's a lot of talented athletes, a lot of talented human beings, smart guys, although I'll never tell that to their faces, smart guys that understand the expectations and understand what is needed to be successful. But they are the only people that truly control where this season can really go. And I think that's something that we have tried to really reiterate with them is it's not about anybody else other than yourselves. It's not about any outside noise. It's not really about us as a coaching staff. It is, where do you guys want this to go? How good do you guys want to be from the jump? They're going to be really young. We're going to be really young and really inexperienced with fifth years that have graduated. And so I think we have put an onus on, hey, this is a players program. And where do you want to go? Where do you want your expectations to be? Where do you want your standard to be set? We'll help you, right? And that's our job, is to guide you in that aspect. But nobody ever talks about, championship caliber teams, and they say this is a coach-led program, or the coaches did this. This is about the players.
You've moved around quite a bit. Talk to me about just the overall, I don't want to use the word culture because we've talked about that, but just when you found yourself in smack dab in the middle of the Midwest, right? What were some of the differences in personalities, or just the overall ecosystem in this area that was maybe a little different than areas you've been in before?
Yeah, and I think it's hard, right? Because sports are the great equalizer and the great, combiner. Right? And so while I've lived a lot of different places and gone to different sports have been that constant. And, you know, I'm a firm believer that if the world operated like a sports team locker room, we'd be in a lot better spot. Right?
Oh, you said a mouthful there. Yeah.
Right? The idea that, you know, everybody comes together with one common goal, right? And it's one common goal for an organization or a team to continue to get better and move forward. So while, yes, there are going to be differences in people and personalities and everything like that, for me, it's always been, hey, there's an equalizer in the aspect of, you know, a locker room and a team and an organization and an athletic department that is all moving towards one goal. And so the names and the faces may change, but if you're working towards the same goal, it really doesn't matter. And so the other part here, especially, and really at the other spots I've been at, especially on the college level, I've been at places that have recruited nationwide. I mean, we had 14 different states represented on our roster here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, last fall.
Wow. Let's hammer that home. 14 different states represented in this program last year.
Yeah, just don't ask me to name them all.
No, yeah. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a special opportunity, and I think it's a lot because of Cedar Rapids. And so, you know, Cedar Rapids is that unique college town, especially small college town, right? Like you talk small colleges, and they are in small cities, and they are in small locations, whereas here in Cedar Rapids, it's the second largest city in Iowa. And it's the second largest business.
And it's growing.
Correct, right? And so we're able to reach out to, you know, different states and different cities and say, hey, like, this is an opportunity for you guys to continue to play sports at a really high level and be able to grow on and off the field with elite academics and a piece of paper in the end of it in 4 years that's going to carry some weight. And so I think that's the other kind of turnaround that we get in the ecosystem you kind of talk about is we got a lot of people from a lot of different routes that all choose Coe and choose Cedar Rapids for their home for 4 to 5 years. Well,
yeah, and when you think about all those states that we now have ties to, that Coe has ties to, that webs out into the real world. That's just that many more people in areas who have a direct tie to this college, and that pays dividends in the long run.
Yeah.
You know, do you got to head over there?
I'm gonna go over there.
All
so
right,
hey,
Coach Trevor McConnell, wide receiver coach. Thank you, sir. Thanks for spending some time with us. Hey, let's get after it over there. Let's see what they got. This is fun. We're meeting a lot of new people. We're talking about a lot of things, not just lift and iron. We're talking real life stuff here on the Coe College campus of all the benefits that these kids and these students and athletes are enjoying. Right now we are at the Kohawk Power Lift-A-Thon at Coe College in the weight room. We're doing a fundraiser for the program. We're helping Coach Vass raise money for the weight room, for some additional equipment, and any other things that the strength and conditioning program needs. We've talked with a lot of people, from athletes to administrators to the top guy, from Trevor McConnell, who was just here, who's the wide receiver coach. Coach Vass, he's been in and out. He's the head strength and conditioning coach here. And we are watching some big weight being thrown around over there. See if you can you get a little closer over there, Casey? I'm kind of stuck here in the tent. My headphones and microphone will only reach so far, but so these guys, what they're doing, what you're watching is you're watching the football players who have been coming in kind of different waves, and these guys are taking their 90%, they're taking 90% of their max squat, and they're doing up to 5 reps with that amount. And that we're here raising money, building awareness around the Coe College football program. Well, all athletics, because all the teams have been in. That easily looked like that was 405. I'm thinking that was probably more like 415 over there. Let's see, I think we got another. I think we're getting up to about 400 there. I think he's got 3 plates on each side, plus a 25, plus a 10. So that'd be 315 plus another 50. That's 365. I'm guessing that's 385 right there. And he's going deep. He's getting in the bucket. So that means that was 90% of his max, and he just knocked it out for reps, which is great to see. So we've got a lot of these linemen. They're getting after it. They're all rooting each other on. I will say the camaraderie that I have seen within this weight room over the last 2 days has been impressive, to say the least. These guys just all seem like they're functioning as one big train going down the tracks. The coaches talked about it. They've got a very young program this season. But I don't know. I feel like that's a good thing. The longer these guys are in the trenches together, the better they're going to be. And we walked in the door at 5:30 this morning, and we came into just a thundering weight room in here, where these guys were already hanging and banging, putting up the big weight, doing the things, making all the noise, and this has been fun over here at Coe. I've never been involved in an event like this, where not only it's a dual event, it's a lift-a-thon. These guys are competing against each other while rooting for each other, and at the same time raising money and awareness around this Coe College weight room and on this campus to say, hey, we need some funding because our programs are growing. We've got more and more athletes coming through these weight rooms, and we need some big bucks in here to make improvements, because they're going to quickly outgrow this weight room. This is a very nice weight room. It's a nice setup, but it's not huge, and so they got to come in here in waves. They got to come in here and work their butts off in the short amount of time that they have to utilize these power racks and benches and dumbbells and such, because you've got football base. Holy smokes, look at that bar bend. That is a lot of weight right there. That's a bendy bar squat. Boy, man, that guy just went in there and, man, he's beating that weight up like it owes him money. That's incredible. Look at that bar. That bar looks like a banana with all that weight on there. That was impressive. That was a good one. I think that was easily over 400 pounds. Holy smokes. That guy just walked into that squat rack, hit that weight, walked out like it was just a warm-up. That was impressive. Get that guy over here, Casey. Get that guy over here. I want to talk to that guy. Yeah, that big guy in the black shorts there that just shoved that other guy. He's got the dreadlocks and stuff. He's doing all the shoulder pumps. Yeah, get that guy over here. No, go get him. Go get him. What's he going to do? Get him over here. I want to talk to him. Get him over here. Please. Yeah, I want to find out how much weight that was, what position that guy plays, where's he from. Get him on over here. Let's get over here and talk to that young man. That was impressive. That was impressive. Come on in here, my friend. Here, put these headphones on. Let's get to know each other a little bit. All right, have a seat. Keep that microphone nice and close. Like, it's got to be real close with all the noise going on here. What's your first name?
James.
James. Joe.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, James. Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what, that was impressive. You walked up on that weight and thought, okay, well, I'm going to lift you quick and then I'll put you back down.
Yep.
Real quick, you won't feel a thing. That was impressive. How much weight was that?
That was 385.
385, James. How many reps you hit that for?
5.
You look like a young guy. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Look at you.
Yes, sir.
Well done.
Appreciate that.
So where in the heck are you from?
I'm from Louisville, Texas.
And all the way up here in Cedar Rapids.
Yes, sir.
I was just talking to Coach Trevor, and he said last year there was 14 different states represented within this program.
Yes, sir. They prioritize, like, recruiting all over the country. There's a lot of talent everywhere, and so we do a great job of really making sure we cover that.
And you said it's James, right?
Yes.
James, how did you go from Texas and how did you end up here in Cedar Rapids? Walk me through that process.
So I actually transferred in this past fall. I went to Luther College before this, but I wanted to play for the best and compete with the best, so that's why I transferred here this past fall, and it's been better for me ever since.
This is a great school.
Yes.
This is a great campus. I mean, we were just even looking out the window. I was like, what college campuses are spending thousands of dollars on mulch right now to make the place just look good?
Right.
And this weight room and this program is fantastic, and that's why I'm glad we're here helping you guys try and raise some more money for the weight room.
Yeah, no, it's state of the art. I think our school does a great job investing in us as athletes and as students, and I think we're able to pay it back with doing things like this. So I'm really happy to be a part of it.
What grade are you in? What level are you? Sophomore? Junior?
Yeah, I'm a junior here.
You're a junior.
Yes,
and
sir.
so will this be your second year at Coe, or this will be your first year playing for Coe football?
Yes, I finished this past season was my first season playing for Coe.
Okay.
And so going into the fall will be my second year here.
What position are you at?
Tight end.
Tight end.
Yes, sir.
I bet you just mow some people down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I bet you do.
Yeah, Coach Vass's program has got me way stronger. So in the run game, I feel like I'm actually able to deliver power to my opponents, and I've just been really happy with my progression so far.
That's great. Squat, your best lift?
Yeah, it's my favorite lift.
Yeah. Yeah, your legs are freaking huge. I got to imagine you've got some speed and some power behind it too, which is great. Have you always lifted weights? Like in high school and stuff, were you always in the weight room or?
So I grew up playing basketball. I didn't really start playing football until I got to college. So
no kidding.
I didn't really lift at all because basketball players never really lift in high school. So I've been taking in progressions year by year since I've been in college, and so far I've been loving it. Like especially here, the culture we have in the weight room, it makes you want to get better, wants you to push yourself every day, and so I'm just happy to be a part of that.
How did you get involved in football, but not until college? That's kind of is that kind of an anomaly?
It is. I mean, so my brother played football growing up, and I wanted something for myself, so I played basketball a lot. I got recruited to my old school to play basketball and football, and so I was like, you know what, I'll give football a try. I fell in love with it, and I just wanted the best for myself in a sense.
Yeah, good for you. So I'm sure you're building some good friendships here on campus, right?
Yeah.
And within the team itself?
Yeah, I mean, some of my lifelong friends are here right now, people that'll be in my wedding and I'll be in their wedding and things like that. So it's always great to have those type of people supporting me.
I think you guys are going to have a fun season. It just seems like, although it's a young team, it's a cohesive team. It seems like you guys really do, feels like you guys really do give a damn about each other.
Yeah, I mean, the program here is strong. I mean, we have a really high winning percentage as a program, and we embody every bit of that. We want to push ourselves to be the best and leave our mark on legacy as well.
Wow. So who's the strongest guy out there?
So
since you're sitting in here, who's the strongest guy out there?
The guy who's about to squat, I think right now, is Braden Damehoff. He's our left guard. I mean, he's got probably 5 plates, maybe 6 plates on there, and he's going to move it really cleanly.
Is that blonde guy?
Yep, he might have just squatted, actually.
I think he just did. I think that was all the hooting. How much was that, you think, from here?
I mean, he's probably easily in the 500s, and he probably repped it all the way out 4 or 5 reps.
Dude, that guy looks like an ogre. Like, he looks like somebody that could pick up anything and set it down as light or as hard as he wants to.
Oh, yeah, him in open space is a very dangerous sight, but I'm glad to be on the offensive side of the ball and not have to worry about that.
Yeah. Well, James, this has been fun. I appreciate you joining us. I just wanted to say hi, and I felt like your squat was impressive. So you say tight end?
Yes, sir.
James, tight end here at Coe College. Yes, you got any socials you want to plug?
Yeah, so my Instagram is james.hutton, Hutton 20. And I just appreciate you bringing me on. So thank you so much.
Thanks, James.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, why don't you go grab one of your buddies and send him over here? We'll put him in the hot seat. What do you say? Okay. Oh, Casey. Here we are. I've never talked this much about weightlifting without actually picking up any weight myself. I got to admit, I'm feeling like a real putz right now. But if I attempted to go show these young guys what it's all about, I'd feel like even a bigger putz. So, hey, we're going to bring in the big guy here, the big gun. Hey, put these headphones on.
If I can sit in this chair.
Yeah, yeah. All right, can you hear me all right? Yep. Okay, let's keep the mic nice and close because otherwise it's hard to hear you. What's your first name?
My name's Braden.
Braden. Nice to meet you, Braden.
Nice to meet you.
How much iron did you just throw on your back?
500 for 5.
500 for 5. Did you think you could get it, or were you hoping you could get it?
Hoping.
Yeah. Where is Braden from? Where did you go to high school?
I went to Fulton High School in Fulton, Illinois.
Oh, across the river from Clinton.
Yep.
Yeah, good for you.
Yep.
So from Fulton High School, and then how long have you been at Coe now?
This is my second year.
Second year.
Yep.
What position do you play?
I play O-line.
Of course you do. Nobody's getting past you.
Yep.
You're the ultimate protector, right?
Say that, yep.
Man, tell me about this program, and tell me about, since you've gotten to Coe, what are some of the things that really attracted you to this program, and what are the things that are going to have you stick and stay?
I would just say this weight room's amazing. I mean, ever since I got here, I've only gotten stronger and faster, so I can't really complain about that. I mean, this past season, I got all conference, which...
Good for you.
I mean, it's thanks to the Kohawk power, so...
Yeah. So you talked about your speed.
Yeah.
Power is a given,
Yep.
but tell me about your speed. How has that evolved since you've gotten to Coe?
My 10-meter dash, I went from like a 1.7 to like a 1.62 consistently in a 10-meter dash.
And that's a big deal because that's not a very far distance.
Mm-hmm.
And so to shave anything off of that is impressive.
Yep.
Wow. Good for you.
Thank you.
So what are you looking forward mostly about this season? Because what I keep hearing is you guys are a young team, you're a young unit. So what's got you feeling the most optimistic about this season?
I mean, we got a lot of guys back. I mean, we lost a lot, but I believe in my guys. So I'm just ready to get out there and play football.
You keep in touch with a lot of people from Fulton?
Yeah.
Do you make it home quite a bit?
A little bit.
Because what do? Just hop on 30 and head over there?
Yep.
Yeah. Because from here to there is what, an hour?
Like an hour and 20.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Not bad at all.
Do you make it home quite a bit?
I mean, when we weren't in spring ball, I was going home quite a bit, but now I'm just kind of here.
Did you play any other sports outside of football growing up?
I did wrestling and track.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, my God. I bet it was hard to put you on your back in wrestling. How'd you do in wrestling?
I lost in the semifinals and sectionals.
Yeah, but there again, that's pretty far, right? And especially in the Midwest, it ain't easy to excel in a sport like wrestling. There's a lot of stiff competition out there.
Yep.
Were you at all looked at by this school? Because they've got a pretty rich wrestling program as well, or was it just football for you the whole way?
I talked to some people about wrestling, but I kind of told them I was focused on football, so I didn't really get much interest.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
What do you think of Coach Vass in this program?
He's great. I mean, I can't complain about anything he does for us. He's always here putting in the work, trying to get us better. So.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of gas in the tank, right?
Yep.
Like he's not some old, crusty, dried out strength coach that's been hanging around forever and is just kind of checking his watch, waiting for his tour of duty to be done. Coach is just getting into that. Oh, you got to get in there real quick. Hey, Coach, hold on. We got to get this guy in there. Hey, thanks for coming in, my friend. Yeah, yep. So that was the big boy there. So looks like they're all done with the lifting. We're taking group photos here. Man, these guys just seem like they're having a great time here at Coe, and I'm really thankful they asked us to do this. You know, I wasn't sure kind of what to expect at the beginning of this whole thing, especially when we came in on Monday, and I got to say I've had a lot of fun doing this thing and watching these guys do what they're doing. I think Coach Vass is probably Coach. How are we doing here? Are we nearing the end with the football players?
Yep, that's our last one.
That was it. Casey, do you want to come back around here and maybe Coach and I will put a bow on this thing?
That's what I was thinking.
And because we have been live streaming for a while. How long have we been live streaming, Casey? We have never had a live stream over probably an hour and a half. So
perfect.
We're setting all kinds of records today, Coach.
Perfect. I love it.
So we're 2.5 hours into this live stream.
And I fully expect everybody to be watching all 2.5 hours of
all
content.
2.5 hours. Yeah, we've just been picking up viewers. Not a single one has dropped off in 2 hours. In fact, I think that we've had a lot of people call in sick to work. I got to stay in my jammy pants and watch how much weight that's being lifted here at Coe. Hey, this has been neat. We got to talk to David. That was pretty neat.
That was unexpected. So I invited President Hayes just like any other event. This is a new event, and him and I's relationship is obviously new, being a newer coach. And so he's like, hey, I'm going to try to come. And he had a late night last night with all his president duties and other things that he does. So I was just thrilled. He was really, it was really cool to see him here. I'm happy that he got to interview him. So I'll definitely tune into that. So I can watch what you guys are talking about.
You can tell the guy just gets it.
Yep.
You can tell the guy wants to be in the trenches. Mm-hmm. He's not some Eiffel Tower president of a school that just looks down upon the campus and bring me some information about that person there. He's the kind of guy that gets down and says, hey, nice to meet you. Tell me about yourself. What do you got going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, like I said, what's really cool and unique about Coe College is, especially with your president, the guy who's in charge. Obviously, we report directly to our AD and Steve Cook. I think the big thing is just to have that full administrative support for what we do starts at the absolute top. And so it's vital. If anything, this is advice for other coaches who are running events to make sure that your president is absolutely involved in some way.
And the thing is, as I recap this and we look at every single athlete or intern or coach who's been on the podcast this morning and on Monday, everybody just seems to be a pleasant human being in here. And so that makes this easy to be able to sit here and have conversations. You can have a conversation with a good person all day long, and you've surrounded yourself with really good people, and like attracts like. So if you were a dirtbag, you'd be surrounded by dirtbags, and you're surrounded by wonderful people. So it's safe to say Coach Vass is a wonderful person. And we got to raise some more money.
Yes,
I think you can get to the 20 grand. I really believe you can get to it. Anything from here on out is just sprinkles on top of an already tasty cupcake for this fundraiser. But this has been great, and I'm just thrilled that you asked Treadmill Heroes to play a small role in helping get the word out there, and certainly the partnership is great. Tie a bow around this for us, Coach. Tell us what we saw. Tell us what's going to happen between now and Friday, because Treadmill Heroes sadly won't be back here throughout the rest of the week.
Casey doesn't want to come back again.
Casey does not want to get up at 3 a.m. anymore. Yeah.
She said it's a one-time deal, huh?
I will say it is a little strange texting an employee at 3 a.m. saying, hey, you ready to go?
Which I did. So
So it's thankfully that she was willing to do this, because this would have been a nightmare with me trying to hook up all these wires and run the camera and all that stuff too. So bring us on home, Coach. What have we seen? What are we going to see? And why don't you make one last pitch to the people watching?
Absolutely. So obviously what I think you guys saw, the biggest thing is the excitement that comes around the weight room. So again, we're showcasing. I keep using that word because I don't really have a better word, right? If you guys see athletes on the football field or the wrestling mat or the baseball diamond or the volleyball court, you're going to see the athletes in their element. That's what most people think. This is my element. And so to give you a little limelight into what we do, that's exactly what the week is. So that's going to kind of put a bow tie on what this morning meant to me, and I think which means to the viewers and the outside guys and gals. So I think the next thing we're looking for is, what does the rest of the week look like? Pretty simple stuff. We still have many groups that are going to compete in their events. Like I said, we have the 300 challenge coming for, I think that's 4 of our groups. So that one's pretty, again, nobody knows what it is, and I'm not going to say it over this.
All we know is it's the 300 challenge.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, so we got that one coming up with 4 additional groups. We have some vert challenges. We have some 10-yard sprint challenges. And then, what am I missing? That's what I know off the top of my head. That's what we'll say we have left. So, again, probably about half our teams are still yet to go for the week. But I think the big one that we had this morning was, my son's back.
There he is.
Oh, and he's got full snot boogers everywhere, too. Way to go, buddy.
I think a few guys had snot boogers after squatting 500 pounds in the squat rack in there, too. So
yeah, I got to give a shout-out to my interns for keeping my two-year-old son occupied during this time, so that's perfect. And then, like I said, what do we kind of do for the final pitch here? I think the final pitch as we go is, number one, our giving link is open all the way until Sunday. And I will be posting videos each day in some capacity. And we have our silent auction as well. We still have a couple items that haven't been bid on, so if you guys find some things, again, on that giving link, go within that hub for the
So
silent
that's on
auction.
that link as well?
It's all on the same link, yep. And so, and like I said, there's a couple items in there, a lot of really cool Kohawk Power. I think it's a cool one. We have a Kohawk Power wrapped Yeti cooler, and that comes with 4 Yeti 20-ounce tumblers and a homemade Kohawk Power sign. I think that's the coolest package.
Wow.
My mother-in-law made the wooden sign, and then I have some really good friends back in South Dakota in Troy Fox that did our design for that as a donation. So again, that's my pitch. That's my spiel. The donate now button is there, and I think why not? Let's hit our goals.
You bet. Well, and when you look back at this, Coach, I will tell you that darn near every person who came up here and sat in the podcast spoke about how you are transforming this program, how this program is evolving, and not only the program, but how their individual speed and strength achievements are improving because of this program. And so it'll be great to see what they're doing in here play out on the field or on the court or on the lane or on the track or wherever it is.
Yep.
So thank you for what you're doing. I've learned a lot from this thing. I really appreciate you having us involved. I hope you continue to raise money all throughout the week, and I wish you the best here at Coe College. And go Kohawks, man.
Let's go. Let's give another boom baby right there. So.
Coach Vass, everybody, and I'm Joe Braymeyer with Treadmill Heroes. We're getting the heck out of here. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. We'll see you guys later. Thanks again for joining us.